What's up, guys? Welcome back to Completely Pointless Podcast. Here on episode 10, we are joined by the most spectacularly civilian guest that we've had so far. I mean, he's our first guest, but introduce yourself.
My name's Michael. I guess just a quick little thing about me. I'm really into advancing technology.
Yeah!
Michael.
Yeah! Already
You.
number one guest. Already.
Fuck Brandon.
Fuck
you, Michael.
I had to get it in there.
I mean, Michael, how
And
does it
then
make
the
you feel?
normals.
Well, I'm Jeremy, obviously, the best person. Next one is being sad.
I know, I'm here. I'm Nick. I was waiting for you to finish up. I didn't want to cut you off.
Just cut me
Nah,
off.
cut
No one
Jeremy
wants to
off.
hear me talk, yeah. But, Michael, how does it make you feel to be the first guest on the most successful podcast ever made?
Feels good. Going places.
Should.
Well, that's what I like to hear.
I mean, for the other two of you, though, this is episode 10, babies!
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We've been
Making
doing this.
headway.
Episode 10, and we got our first guest on.
Yeah,
Double
look at us
digits
go.
and double the dudes, even though it's
Been
not
doing
double
this
the
for
dudes.
2.5 months already, guys. How do y'all
Dude,
feel
10
about
months,
that?
10 months,
Crazy.
10 weeks consecutively.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We have not missed a week.
no, we've been doing
consistency,
good,
baby.
Yeah.
which is
You guys
weird.
have anything planned for like the 100th episode?
Oh god,
Like,
that's
that's
so
a ways
far
away.
away. That's
Indeed.
it's like 2 years of episodes almost.
What? Oh yeah,
we
it is.
made-
Never mind,
we
my
made
brain
it.
did
Just a
not
bit.
math right there. Shut up.
There's 52 weeks in a year, and we started this 10 weeks ago, so we got, 42 more weeks
Yeah.
before we hit,
1 year.
52?
A year.
52.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it. Yeah.
So that episode 52 will be our actual big episode because that's
There we
1
go. That's
year.
our anniversary.
We remember
Alright.
/ make it that far.
Well, I
We
think
just
we
have
will.
to. I think we should do something for like the 25th, 50th, and then 75th and 100th, maybe, or just 50th then 100th.
Quarterly celebrations.
Well, it'd be biannual.
Well, I think
I don't know
for the
your big words, Magic Man.
For the 25th, we should like all get upgraded mics.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I
Michael,
mean,
let me borrow
honestly-
your mic once a week.
Yeah. Dude, Michael's
Oh, definitely.
mic is actually really good.
How much
Yeah.
do you
It's
spend
just
on your mic?
just a Blue Yeti. I think it was like
Oh, is it?
$100.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
that's the one I was looking at. I
I'm-
think it's like 100, 120 somewhere in there. It's not
I'm
bad.
the one
pretty
I
sure
was
they're
looking at.
cheaper now. They come out with like a bunch of new ones. So
Oh, nice.
I'm not gonna get some Audio Technica fucking $500 mic. not yet,
Oh,
unless I start like.
I planned on dropping 10 grand for my first mic.
Did I send y'all that one mic?
Yes, you
it was,
did.
It's like
Yeah, you
I
did.
thot it was like 30 grand or something. Like
Yeah,
some
it is.
stupidly
It's something
insane mic.
ridiculous.
It was ridiculously expensive. I could probably find it.
It's like a fucking pro studio mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, enough about technical babble.
It was 11 grand.
Oh, it's only 11
Chump
grand.
change. All right.
easy.
Well, I'll jump us into our first topic. I don't know. Well, I know why I had this thought during the week. Do y'all ever have songs imprint on certain memories in life? So, like, for me, I've
Yes.
got like a bunch of them where Nick, this one you should remember it. We never found the song there, but we heard the song Fitz Pleasure by Alt J the first time we went to South Padre. And so anytime I hear that song, I think of South Padre.
Is that the one that goes
But-
Blender?
That's what we thought it said, but he says pleasure.
Yeah, I know. We were fucking memeing that shit,
Yeah.
saying it said
But-
Blender the whole time.
Yeah. But it's songs like that you hear the song and it immediately snaps you back to that specific memory. So like
Yeah,
I've got
I feel that.
that song, I've got a song that anytime I listen to it, I just sit there and think, I want to be on my boat, because that's the song I play, the first song I play anytime I get, like, anytime I'm putting my boat on the water. So every time I hear that song, it's like, I need to be on my boat.
This is just a weird flex for you to
Yeah,
show
just
off the fact that
casually
you have
drop
a
you have a
boat.
boat. Yeah. I have a boat too, Brandon. All right, it may be made out of paper, but it's a boat.
Don't you have a
Yeah, dude.
benchy? A 3D benchy?
Anyways,
print it out on your printer? Anyways, back on topic.
yeah. So Michael, I know you're a musician aficionado, so I would love to hear your answer, sir.
I mean, when it comes to music, there's nothing that I have that like I guess brings up a certain memory. I did make like a whole playlist of songs to listen to on a boat once I eventually get a
Is
boat.
it yacht rock?
Well, you need to
But-
send that to me because I have a boat.
do
I
need to
actually
send you that playlist, yeah.
2 boats.
I have a good question for Michael then, since he's like super into music. What's your favorite genre?
Ooh.
Ooh, um, honestly, I don't. I mean, I feel like I listen to a lot of oldish like 80s, 90s, 70s music.
Dude, you get along with
Okay.
my buddy Sam great then. He fucking loves like Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks, and
Oh yeah.
shit like that. Journey.
I mean, I was listening to that pretty much all day today at work, just because there's so much of it that I like, so it's easy to just put on a playlist of it and you know.
I
just
don't listen to
tune
it at
out.
all.
So-
I can't
So
get
so
down with it.
that also brings me up a point of so everybody's like, 80s music is so good. But have you ever actually listened to like 80s music? Not just the popular 80s music, but
Yeah.
80s music.
Well,
Yes.
It's like
I mean,
because
I don't know if I could like name it off all on the top of my head, but there's a bunch of like random stuff that I probably haven't listened to before, but I enjoy it all. So
yeah, but it brings up the point of like if so like older people they'll be like, "Oh, music today is trash," or this and that. They're like, "I like 80s music," but then they listen to just AC/DC and Metallica and shit like that, just the popular stuff.
yeah,
Versus if you go back and actually like just dig and find every 80s song, a bunch of it is
Yeah, it's
trash,
real
just
bad.
like today's
Yeah,
music.
well, I mean that's kind of like the whole idea behind like the grass, or I mean not the grass is greener on the other side, but that old times were always better than new times because they
You only remember the
yeah,
best
you only
of them.
remember the good parts. You forget about the stuff you hated or just didn't give a shit about, and you only remember that time that you know went to the fair and got sick off 2-cent ice cream because it was cheap back then. But so like I don't know, it's weird to tell someone they're like, yeah, the past was better, and I'm like, maybe in some ways, but you're not
was
being
simpler.
objective about it. Well, was
It
it
was
simpler
definitely
though?
simpler, though. Yeah, definitely.
How so?
Dude,
How-
they didn't have nearly the like plethora of. They didn't have fucking
Technological
smartphones. They didn't
advancement.
have technological advancements.
But-
it was literally word of mouth and just like
But
person
they
to person
did.
communication.
But-
Jeremy, I already
Should've
know
been
you're gonna
smart back
say
That's not what I'm
they
gonna say.
did.
It's not what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say that part of technological advancement is to make your lives easier and more simple and easier to understand.
Yeah, but like if you,
I would
I mean,
be
for
curious
us,
to
'cause
see.
we like grew up with it. But if you didn't grow up with it, no. I mean, back then, I mean, it was literally just like exist, find food, and make shelter. Like that
Hit
was
rock with stick.
Yeah.
yeah.
But so here, I would like to see like actual data of like the rate of depression. Like I know back in older days, like that wasn't they didn't diagnose that. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, he's got the tired or whatever the fuck. But like I would like to see actual like actual data to see like were people back then like did they have a higher percentage of depression than people now, which because I think it would be people now.
I have an easy answer to that.
Hmm.
The answer is no. People back then did not have as high a rate of depression as they do now. You know why?
And that's what I think.
You know why though? Because they didn't have social media.
Yeah, it's the internet.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yep.
it's taken over everything.
So
See, but
did
I-
that technological advancement make life better?
Yes.
It does, but only if you're like a like sound of mind, right? Like if you go on social media, like back in the day, they didn't have social media, so they didn't have anything to compare themselves to. So it was literally like, okay, we're living in this log cabin we built. We have our small little farm with our cattle and stuff, and we're existing and we're making it work. So they were like, cool. You just did
And
what you had to
that's
do. There wasn't
why-
like depression didn't exist really back then.
And that's why you had families of like 14. Because
Yeah.
the most fun thing to do was fuck.
Hell yeah, dude.
And now it's the
Good
least
point.
fun thing to do, right, boys? That's why none of us, yeah? Right? Oh, okay. Just me.
yeah.
Maybe
Um,
you three.
I mean,
But-
yeah. My hand.
I
is
know-
good enough
sidebar.
now.
Brandon is the
Yes.
only person here that has physical proof that he has had sex.
Yes,
True.
facts.
So we're all
Mad facts.
virgins.
Yeah, I didn't save any of my
Innocent
condoms,
virgin
dude.
until
Fucking
proven guilty.
Turbo virgins.
I just have a
Ugh.
I have an ammo box of condoms in my closet. Not even show proof.
They're very
I have
expired.
an ammo box of condoms
Oh, yeah.
that is still completely full. But we never got Nick and Jeremy's answer about the music thing.
Yeah, no,
We
all
definitely got
the
off topic.
freaking time. Even like today, I was listening to what's the song? It's called Amy. Who's it by? I don't remember who it's by. But every time I hear it, I think of a road trip that all of my family took while we were driving down, and my dad was singing that song to my sisters. So that's all I think about. But even then, like church music, that just
Mhm.
instantly takes me back to things.
Yeah.
For me, it's like I associate genres and like certain bands with people.
Mhm.
So like and time frames, like Sleeping with Sirens and
Ooh.
like that genre of like what is it, post-hardcore, I think is like the genre technically. That reminds me of like high school and Midland and stuff whenever after I transferred. And
I would like to know what my genre and band is.
whatever we listened to driving back and forth from work and school.
So a
So
lot of
usually
dubstep.
it's the main thing I remember, and it's not music, but it is like kind of one of those things. It was Good Mythical Morning.
Oh yeah, I still watch Good
You
Mythical
would
Morning,
pull up to my house, and we would play Good Mythical Morning on the way to school.
and
and
I
then-
still watch it.
Like Noah is like metal, same with my buddy G-Man, and then Sam is always like Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks, Journey, like that era of music and that genre. And yeah, I mean that's kind of how I correlate music to life.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
do y'all
And-
have do you have specific songs that just pull up memories,
Yeah.
or
well,
does it just kind of like any song from that genre?
No, I don't. I'm not a big like specific song kind of guy, right? I like bands and I like albums. I don't really like. There's not like singular, except for like special exceptions.
Yeah.
Like songs I listen like The Pot by Tool kind
That's
of
a good
makes
one.
me think of like Noah a lot
Yep.
because he's the one who
Yep.
introduced me to Tool.
Same.
It's like stuff like that, but that's very specific, and I can't really remember exactly all of the examples of that in the moment, but
well,
Yeah.
I have a good one. There's this album by an artist whose name is WMD. And a lot of his music on Spotify, but it used to only be on Bandcamp, which I don't know if any of y'all have used Bandcamp.
mhm.
A long time ago.
But it was like chiptune lo-fi.
Yeah.
It's hard to
Yeah,
explain.
I get it.
It's,
I
it's
get
hard
it.
to describe. But every time I hear a specific song, it's called it's something in Roman. It's like Venesti or something like that. It reminds me of Mountain Blade Warband, because the first time I ever played Mountain Blade Warband was also the exact same time that his new album released. So I was listening to that album on repeat while playing the game. So now anytime I hear the game or hear the song, I want to play the game, and anytime I play the game, I want to listen to the music. So I've Pavloved myself into
Yeah.
associating these two.
Into that. So I do have one for you, Jeremy.
Mhm.
It's not really a specific song, but anytime I hear the ukulele, I just think about sad Jeremy drinking on the balcony.
Now sad Jeremy's just drinking in his room, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, no, anytime I hear the ukulele, because I would get home from work and just hear ukulele music and
Yep.
turn and look, and Jeremy's just sitting
Yeah, sitting
on the
out
porch,
with
drinking
like
a beer.
an empty pack of
Yeah, like a 12
Red's
pack.
Red's Wicked.
Oh yeah, that yeah.
Good times, man. Good times. Terrible times, actually, but
Yeah, no, I have like a strong correlation between specific songs and specific memories, because there's songs that like I hear the song and it makes me think about an ex and I turn it off because I'm like, fuck that, I don't want to hear that. Or songs that bring up good memories of like trips or stuff like that. Because once we heard that song, we finally found it and then we played it about 50 fucking times.
yeah.
And we meme the shit out of it.
I tried to learn to play the ukulele, and the only song I memorized was "Somewhere Over the Rainbow," and it was
Hell
like four
yeah,
chords.
dude.
Yeah.
You can't play the ukulele and not play that song, honestly.
Or Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Yes. That song's actually kind of hard to play.
Yeah.
I have
Really
a
hard.
I have a strange like I have a weird dislike for ukuleles.
Oh, why so?
Noah had one back when we were in high school, and he
Oh,
thought
yeah.
he thought he was a musician, dude.
Man,
I
I'm
could
probably
see
exaggerating,
him doing
but
that.
dude, he was like confident as fuck whenever he played the ukulele, and he was like decent at it. But you know, it was one of those instruments that's like, you know, in my opinion, I think it's easy to play if you're like,
It
there's
really
certain,
is.
you know, there's a lot of shit you can play with it that's really easy, but then you can get really complex with it. But it was just funny. You know, back in the day, he would play that shit and.
Thought he
It
was hot
sounded cool.
shit.
Yeah, you know, it was boosting his confidence a little bit. Too much.
That's for sure just Noah, though.
True, dude. Yeah, he has that white guy unowned confidence, dude.
He goes to meet girls and just pulls out the ukulele.
Yeah, dude. Actually, he would like bring girls home and play the ukulele for them sometimes.
So I have two
He would
inputs
pull
here.
out the ukulele, and they would like look at it and be like, "Huh, that's representative."
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah,
Well, so
the ukulele
me
is Noah.
and Michael used to have a roommate that
Also, Michael.
yeah, also named Michael. It was a confusing time. I had Mike and Mike. No Ikes. So we had this roommate, and he at one point got a hold of my ukulele, and the only song he learned was "Leaves from the Vine," the song that Uncle Iroh sings in Avatar about
Oh, cool.
it's about Zuko, right? Or his son? I think it's about his son.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's like it's 3 chords, and it's you just strum once at the beginning of the verse, and then say your verse, and then strum again, say your verse, strum again, say your verse. And it's like 3 lines, right? So it's short, and he sang this goddamn song so many times. It got
was
so
really, like,
annoying.
Every time he plays it, you're like, please, like we
Yeah.
get you can do it, and that's awesome for you, but like
Yeah.
wearing it out, wearing it out. It's like the radio is going all the time. I
Well,
feel that, dude.
Because we would be like in the living room watching TV or like watching a movie or something, and he would just go get the ukulele, and we'd just like, okay, all right.
Just and fuck.
Is there any instruments that like you guys don't know how to play that you would like to learn in the future?
I know them all,
All of
baby.
them.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm
I-
practicing bass and electric guitar.
I play
I actually
zero
have a
instruments.
Flying V electric guitar. It's fucking sweet,
Ooh.
dude. It's got like it's black and it's got marble trim with marble inlays on the neck.
Oh, that's sick.
I love that thing. It's like my favorite guitar. My bass guitar is just like a $200 one now.
I mean, because I grew up after I started band, I guess. I started band and I learned percussion, which part of percussion is xylophone, which is basically just a piano. So I know how to read bass music, treble music, piano music, percussion music. And then while I was in middle school and high school, I took guitar lessons. so that I could play guitar because guitar's way cooler. So I feel like I just like if you can learn the piano, it gives you such a good understanding of music and instruments in general that you can then know a lot of other instruments. Like they just kind of make sense when you try to pick them up. But I am interested. Michael, did you ever play any instruments?
No. I mean, I did when I was in high school. I did choir. That was about it, and I never
Yeah,
learned how to play any instruments.
Same.
Freaking
But,
choir
I mean,
Absolutely
boys.
same.
The piano is like one of the ones that I really wanted to get into.
Yeah.
I would
You
like to
can-
learn how to play piano.
It's super easy to learn, like
It's
to
not
get
bad.
into learning how to play piano though. Like
Learning
this
how
one
to
behind me-
piano.
Oh yeah, learning how to play piano. It's super easy because like the one behind me I think was like $200 or $300, and it's like it does the job. And it's just
Yeah,
an
the
electric
little-
piano. And
Well, even
dude,
like
I have like my computer here, and then my piano behind me, so I can go over there, and I've got this little stool here. I can just sit there and read the sheet music off of it, and
Yeah.
like look over and then play it and just practice. It's dude, learning piano is honestly one of like just learning how to play a song. In my opinion, doing it on piano, as long as you know what key is what, is super easy.
I
Just
just
takes
also never had the time to dedicate to it
Yeah.
because I don't want to like I don't want to learn a song on the piano. Like I want to learn how to play piano. Like I want to be able to look at any fucking piano song and play it.
I just want to do the Charlie Brown theme.
Oh yeah, that one's actually. I feel like one of my sisters learned to play that, and they told this is completely irrelevant information, but they told me it was either really hard or really easy, but I don't remember. So it could be on either end of the spectrum, you know.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but so like, I guess it was just because my parents, my mom used to play the violin. My dad never learned any instruments, and so that's like,
That's another one I would like to learn.
yeah, the violin. But the violin is apparently extremely hard.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
I do not want to try and learn the violin.
I
I
would
feel
love
like I
to.
would just stuck.
I just
want to.
I want to play. The only thing I want to learn on it is "The Devil Went Down to Georgia." Just
Oh,
the
of
little
course.
solo
Dude.
part.
You have to.
It's a good.
It's great, but like, so my parents didn't learn really many instruments. Like my mom learned the violin, but she hated it, so she like stopped as she got out of lessons. So one of the things they were like big in our childhood was, we want y'all to learn an instrument because it's a cool thing that you might regret later in life if you didn't have it.
Ooh, another one that I would like to be really good at is the banjo.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I have a banjo.
Yeah.
I
How
How
almost
many
have
instruments do you have?
I have a banjo, a bass guitar, electric guitar, drum set, keyboard. I used to have one of those like it was like a string acoustic instrument you'd put in your lap, and it had a shitload of
steel
strings
guitar?
on it. I think so.
Or was it
I
not
don't
a
know exactly
harpsichord?
the name of it.
Uh,
I think it may have been that. I'm not entirely sure, but it was like really weirdly shaped, kind of triangular, but like not like an equilateral, or not like a
Yeah, I've seen them before. I just what are they
Isosceles
called?
triangle.
yeah, it was super weird looking, but
Yeah.
it was like it didn't make any sense to me how to play it. You had to have like the little fingertip picks where the ones
Yeah,
like
because
you
you're
use on your
you're
thumb
like,
with a band,
doo-doo-doo.
or like your fingers with a banjo or something. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I would.
I don't
I
know how to
would.
play any of my instruments though.
My
Not well.
uncle was actually really good at banjo.
Dude, you know my
And-
grandma was really fucking good at the banjo. Where
Really
I got that banjo from? Yeah, dude, she used to fucking slap on that thing.
interesting.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, banjo has always. It's just a super fun sound, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Like I hear banjo music and it makes me smile.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
It's
the
just
dueling
happy.
of the banjos, dude.
I-
That's such a good
that's just
song.
So one of the
Ding, ding, ding,
earliest
ding, ding,
memories I
ding.
have of playing guitar
Yeah, that one.
is I actually learned the guitar part to Dueling of Banjos, because one of them
Oh, cool.
can be transposed into guitar, and so my teacher played for like concert. My teacher played the banjo and I played the guitar, like doing the whole thing. It was very fun,
Nice.
great time. But
Dude,
Like it.
I cannot stand like music lessons though. Like I tried taking guitar lessons there for a while, and the dude was like so particular about the way I played, and I was like, dude,
I feel like I'm
there's
so impatient. Yeah.
yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
like, there's no way it has to be this particular. Like he kept fucking with my left hand because I'm right hand dominant, so I'd strum with my right and then finger the neck with my left.
Oh,
And
Come
he
on,
was
you're
like,
neck.
make sure your thumb is like straight behind it and like this. And I'm like, but he's like, I could tell what he was trying to get me to do, but I see so many guitarists like play in so many different styles. I'm like, there's no way this matters that much. And he kept
It
harping on it.
Seems
kept
super
harping on it.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, please just fuck off and like let me hold it how I want to hold it. I understand there's like correct form, but you don't need to have perfect form to play an instrument.
It's also super weird to me that, like, on guitar or banjo or bass or whatever, your non-dominant hand does the most complicated thing.
Mm-hmm.
That always
Well-
made no sense to me because my left hand's fucking dumb.
Well, it depends too, like on what instrument you're playing.
Yep.
Right? Because like, if you're playing drums, I mean, both your hands are going crazy. Piano, both your hands are going crazy. Guitar, both your hands are going kind of crazy. Because like, getting the pick or your
Yeah.
on bass and getting your fingers to do all the correct strumming and on the correct strings is so fucking hard. Like
Yeah.
the bass guitar fucks me up whenever you're not using a pick. That's why whenever I play bass, I use a pick just
You
because that's what I
gotta,
prefer.
nah, you gotta fucking slap that bass.
But I don't know. I like the heavier like metal side of bass guitar. I don't really like the
Yeah.
groovy like jazz side. I fucking hate it. It's cool. I get it. It's really impressive, but like I don't like the way it sounds.
I
Also
get that.
jazz, yeah.
I like lo-fi jazz, but I
So-
don't like actual like regular jazz.
Yeah. Well, jazz is almost lo-fi. Listen to them together; they're pretty similar. Honestly.
Jazz is more related to like prog rock to me because like
Yeah.
it's just all of the instruments doing all their own thing, but in like similar time signatures and like all with like a flow. But if you don't listen to it often enough, it just sounds like fucking craziness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but to bring it back,
Yeah.
what were some quotes or what were instruments that you two, stupid plebs that don't understand anything, what kind of instruments did y'all want to learn?
Who are you talking to? Who are the stupid plebs?
The ones that don't know any instruments.
Well, like
Well,
me,
I already
don't know
said
any
mine.
instruments.
Fucking like guitar, piano, violin, banjo,
All of them.
all of them. Yeah, no, I mean, like I've always been super interested in playing an instrument, but I've also always been too impatient to put the work in to get good at playing an instrument.
Yeah.
It's mainly consistency, really.
Yeah.
Like you just have to practice every day.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
weird one for me was it was piano, guitar, and then a surprising one that I like really wanted to learn was the harmonica.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
Get
never
good.
got used to it, but
Yeah. Did you want to become like a one-man band, that has like the drum on their
Oh,
back
yeah,
and the
yeah.
cymbal and the harmonica
the
and
whole kit on their body.
Hey. I do know how to play one instrument.
Oh, okay.
What's that?
Better be an actual
And
instrument.
y'all should know as as children that grew up in Texas. I don't know where Michael grew up, but as children that grew up in Texas, y'all should know what instrument I know how to play.
The spoons.
No,
What the fuck is it called?
5th grade.
The recorder.
One fucking recorder. I
how to
slapped
play-
some fucking hot cross buns.
I used to play. What was it in sixth grade? I played the tenor sax. The tenor
Oh, okay,
saxophone,
okay.
and I was like hella good at it.
Yeah.
I love that thing, dude, because you can close like or open all the ports
Saxophone.
on it.
Would also be cool to learn.
Tenor sax is awesome though, because you can like open everything on it, and it
Mhm.
sounds like a foghorn.
Oh,
Nice.
it's
I bet I could
Yeah.
kill the triangle, dude.
So
Oh, I could kill the fucking
When-
Tambourine.
when I was in high school,
Oh yeah,
all right.
I can keep time, motherfucker.
So when I was in high school, I was first chair of the percussion because I'm the best at everything. Everyone knows this.
Weird flex, but okay.
Actually, it made me pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
But we had a kid. Name was Wyatt. And
I
we
bet he
after
was a riot.
no, actually, after he left, we renamed the triangle into the Wyatt instrument because he was so bad at everything that the only thing we put him on was like triangle, cowbell, something that you just basically have to keep tempo on, and he still fucked it up. So
Nice.
Oh,
this poor kid, man, we bullied him so hard.
he was
It's
just he
fine.
was like the band's punching bag.
He kind of was, yeah. Yeah. That poor kid. I wonder what he's doing. I don't even remember him graduating with me, so.
Oh,
No.
nice.
All the reason
Bullied.
he's working at Subway.
And I was a vicious kid, all right? Let me tell you, I was mean.
Jeremy in high school was the embodiment of actually.
Not even, dude. Like, I kind of did that, yeah. Like, I did some of that mostly with my friends, but we just straight up bullied some kids. And not even, like, joking bully. Like, we had this kid, we called him Big Head Brandon, because his name was Brandon. He had a very large forehead because he had Asperger's.
Oh, god damn it. Nick,
No.
Nick knows. Like, all of y'all know that I'm an asshole still, but Nick knows how much more of an asshole I was in high school.
There were definitely kids who were worse than you, though.
Oh, yeah. But
like
I
you
was.
and me were like pretty tame compared to everybody else.
Yeah. But when it came to, like, I'm telling this guy off, like, I knew where to fucking hit.
Yeah. Dude, that's
Oh, yeah.
that's the worst part about kids, and I did it too, is they have no filter and they can like clue in on the things that you hate about yourself, right? So like they just walk up to you. I think was it last week I told the story about the kid walking up to me and he was helping me load
Yes.
shit, was just like, you're kind of fat, and I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was the kid who didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So like I always knew what I could say that would like hurt, like really dig into somebody, but I never really used
Yeah.
that.
Nick,
Because I
how
didn't
old
want
are
to
you?
like
friends?
actually like hurt somebody's feelings. But dude, everybody always did it to me. They always say I had big ears. They would say I had a big forehead. I was skinny. Like your dad. I remember your dad, Brandon, calling me stick boy, and I
Stick
still
boy.
showed y'all motherfuckers up.
Yeah, because we couldn't get our fucking big meaty claws in there.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes you need them skinny arms and hands, bro.
Yeah, it goes back to the conversation. I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, where we were talking about like how we're actually friends.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how me and Nick are still friends because shit. But
Dude, I think it's both because we have thick enough skin.
I think so. Thick enough skulls.
so
Yeah,
Michael,
that too.
I'm very interested, Michael. Were you a bully in high school? Because I feel like you were the kind of person that was a bully in high school.
So I
Take that as an insult if you like.
I did it, but it was very low key, I guess you could say. Like I didn't push people to the brink of like crying in a corner, but I definitely like enjoyed roasting people every now and then.
That's
So
Fair enough.
yeah.
I mean, some people need to be roasted though, dude. I think some people aren't bullied enough.
Facts.
I definitely had that like inner dialogue, just like that voice in my head that like had all these thoughts, but I wasn't gonna say them out loud because sometimes it was like too rude.
Yeah,
So I
dude.
was
Same.
like,
Yeah.
I was like, I probably shouldn't say this, but like I really want to. It's one of those.
God, this person needs to hear this.
Well, so my whole deal of it was, I got bullied, but then I got to a point where nobody could bully me because
Yeah, okay.
I'm a fucking redhead.
Right.
So that was just constant ridicule at
Well-
all times. And so I got to the point where, well, that and Nick knows my fucking family, how we are. So like at some
Abusive.
point it just switched and I couldn't be touched. So like anything anybody would say would just roll off and I would turn it back on them.
Well, see, I feel like high school taught me how to be a bully and how to make it so that people wouldn't bully me, because I learned that if someone starts insulting you, the easy way to get out of it is to go hard against yourself. So like someone walks up to you,
dick.
right? Like someone comes up and is like, man, you suck dick. You're like, man, you don't even know what I did last night, all right? Like I went home, there were like 12 dudes, okay, and it just got
Play
wild.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
Like
13 goddamn dicks in my mouth last night.
because
Dude, I
it
remember
like
one instance.
part of
There
the
was like one
fun.
specific instance of, like where a dude was like, he was like, "You're gay," and I was like, "Bend over and I'll show you how gay I am," and it threw them off
One of
so fucking bad.
one of my favorite responses I've ever heard to that was they said you're gay and they responded, why are you interested? And I was like, damn, all right.
That's a good one.
But
I like that.
Oh,
like, oh,
High school was definitely
mean-
one of those times where it was like for me at least, I didn't want to talk to a whole lot of people because of how like just nobody. I don't expect anybody to be mature, you know, in high school. But for me, it was like everyone just acted so stupid, so I didn't really talk to a whole lot of people.
Mad facts.
yeah.
That was me and Brandon too.
Yeah.
Like, we just kind of hung out with our small group and didn't like.
Yeah.
We got along. I mean, I got along with pretty much anybody, but
yeah,
Like-
so did I.
I didn't really like hanging out with everybody because most of them were just fucking dumbasses.
Facts.
I mean, I used to like I had a pretty tight group. I have two very tight, very different group of friends, right? I had my church friends that I hung out with all the time, and then I had my high school friends that were just a bunch of nerds, but were also just huge dicks to people. And it just I don't know, man. Like I it's kind of a sad thing to say, but I think I peaked in high school. Right? Like I had so many friends, and I jokingly say that I was popular, but I was very so you can't just say I was popular, right? No one believes you. But there for like my junior and senior year, there was a running joke / gag that during pepper rallies, people would just scream, "Jeremy, why are you so cool?" All right? Which started because we were making fun of our principal's daughter, who had a crush on me, who said that one time during a band practice, and so then it just took off that everyone was making fun of her. But then it would be like they would all scream it, and then we would play like a drum, like a percussion or fucking cadence, right? Like a little song with all the drum line, and then everyone would scream it again. And so I was basically the king of high school, all right, if that's what I'm saying.
That's kind of sick. So, dude, you had a shot at the principal's daughter and you didn't take it.
So we
Was she, like,
one of-
ugly or something?
We did take it.
No, she was not ugly. She was fairly attractive, I would say so.
Free A's.
But
Dude.
she was a bitch.
I don't give a damn.
We also, man, every time I think back to high school, I remember how much of a just trash and how much we bullied people so much. At one point, the principal's daughter, she had her nudes printed out and posted on lockers around the high school.
Oh god.
boy.
Yeah. And so everyone learned from these pictures
she
that, I mean, yes, but everyone learned from these pictures that she didn't shave, right? Which, who gives a shit? Now, at least, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I mean,
But
I wouldn't have cared back then
Everyone
either.
called her Chewbacca for the rest of.
Pussy.
Are you
and-
talking like she didn't shave like her legs or just
No,
just
like
her,
Bush.
her
Yeah,
coochie?
like Bush.
Oh, okay.
And so, immature high school
whatever.
kids. Yeah, who gives a shit now, right? But immature high school kids, and now everyone called her Chewbacca for like the rest of her
Goddamn.
high school life, and I was like, now looking back, I feel sorry, but I was definitely part of it. So
God damn it.
yeah, it was bad,
Poor
man.
thing, dude. I bet she does now. I bet that's like a like self-conscious thing.
It must
now.
have been like scarring.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely,
honestly.
man.
Oh, 100% it would have been.
Man, I look back at some of the stuff I did and said in high school, and I regret it because things like that happened to me at some point, and those are like key points in my life that I think back to at night while I'm getting depressed.
I can say I don't think I've ever bullied anybody. I don't think I was
God,
ever a bully at all.
I
I
was
don't
a
think me or
bully.
Brandon either one was.
Speak
maybe
for
you,
yourself.
Brandon, but not me.
I
I was
was,
always
I
like, I was
was.
always a sweetheart, dude. I
You
would get
were.
picked on. I was like the crybaby.
See, Brandon was the kid that bullied me when I first met him, so.
I did.
makes
I did
sense.
bully
Yeah.
Jamie. But look at where we are
What
now.
we're doing now.
It's just,
Bully him.
dude, I have a perfect explanation for why Brandon's the way he is. He's a ginger. He has no soul, therefore no
Yes.
feelings.
Yes.
No sympathy. I mean, even with
Precisely. That's why
like
I'm a
me and
heartless
Michael, I
bastard.
definitely bully Michael all the time.
Yeah, it's like it goes both ways.
Yeah, that's what makes it
Oh,
fun.
fair,
right?
yeah.
Like,
Well, there's
that's
like
that's the whole point of like dudes being friends is
Yeah,
we
it's
shit on
just
each
shitting
other.
on each
Oh
other.
yeah.
But there's
Oh yeah.
so like, has there been a moment where you guys say something? I mean, I just constantly replay conversations in my head, thinking about
Same.
what the other person
I
is like
super
interpreting
don't.
it. But has there ever been like a moment where you said something to somebody and then you step back, or like an hour later you're thinking back to the conversation, you're like, man, that was kind of mean. I hope they didn't think that I was insulting them or something. Like,
See, now it's
Super
always the
don't.
things. It's always the things that I don't think are mean. Like I'm way too honest sometimes, so people ask me a question and I give them my honest answer.
Yeah.
Like I remember Noah in Midland whenever I transferred senior year of high school. I was in Midland and Noah just had broken up with his girlfriend that he'd been with for a while, and he got with this girl Callie, and he dated her for like I don't know exactly the length. I think it was like a week or two. And then they broke up or stopped talking or whatever. It's high school, and he got with this other girl like the next day. And Callie in like our research and development class, like a couple days later, she asked me because we were friends, and she asked me, "Hey, how long did it take him to move on?" And I said, like a day or two. Just
Damn.
giving my honest answer, and she started
Jeez.
crying.
damn.
She straight up started crying
Damn.
and called me an asshole, or her friend called me an asshole. I was like, I mean, don't ask me a question if
Right?
you don't
You're
want
like,
the
it's
honest
just-
answer. You're my friend. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna ask me a fucking question.
Right.
See, I'm in a completely different camp of I'll say shit to people, and then after the conversation, it's completely out of my head. Like I don't hardly ever think about previous conversations. So, but my girl is the opposite way. She overthinks, replays conversations, all of this stuff all the time. And so she'll bring up something that I talked about like 6 months, a year ago, 2 years ago, and she's like, "Did you mean what you said on when you said blah 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 blah?" I'm like, "I said that?"
Yeah, that's a girl
I
thing
have
though. Like,
zero recollection of saying that.
girls don't forget anything. I swear.
Uh-huh.
But I
my
do that shit. Is the
Yeah, I
sad thing.
super don't.
Like, so, well, Michael, do you do, because I need a friend to help to back me up on this. Do you like constantly second guess yourself on what you said and did?
I do, to be fair.
I always do. I second guess almost everything, and I need to like stop.
Yeah,
'cause
right?
Sometimes it gets me in trouble, but
Dude.
like I just second guess it, especially when like I'm either like talking to girls like over text or something, and then either they're most likely like busy or something like that, but I don't get a text for like a day or something. And I was like, is this something I said? So I'm like replaying the conversation in my head, but it's like with almost everything.
Yeah.
See, I did it in high school. But then I got to a point I was like, that stuff doesn't benefit me in any way. So I just stopped.
See, I don't really like rethink things I say. Really, it's more so what other people say, and I'll just sit there and dwell on it, like what other people will like respond to what I say with, because I never really have any ill intent unless I do. With most
God, I
things
really
I
feel
say.
like an outlier.
Well, like, because even, like, what was it, yesterday or the day before, I had a terrible day. And the only reason I had a terrible day was because towards the beginning of our workday, one of our journeymen was like, he asked me some question. I don't even remember what the question was. He asked me a question, and he was like, it was something like, hey, could you do blah, 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 blah. And I was up, working on some joints, and I just go, sure, and then kept working. And he's like, okay, and then walked away, right? That was the entire exchange. But then, like, a couple seconds after he left, I went, man, I sounded kind of rude. That was kind of short. Wonder if he thinks I was mad at him. Wonder if he thinks I don't like him. And like, start like snowballing. And so then the whole day I was just preoccupied with thinking about, like, now does my journeyman hate me? Because if he does, that would suck, because I don't hate him. And so I do this
Yeah, I
shit
do
way
this-
too often.
I do the same thing, but then I sit there and I'm like, you know what? I don't give a shit. They can be mad at me.
God,
Like I just
Yeah.
stop. I just don't care at that point. I'm like, whatever.
I think Jeremy can back me up when I guess when it comes to work, I'll say things and it seems like I'm like just being bitchy, but like it's just me not giving a shit at that point in time, so I just don't care.
Same. I feel
Right,
that. I mean,
I
you
feel
get
like-
to a point where you're like, especially if I'm in the middle of something, like, and I get hit up a lot because I'm a senior tech at my job. So a lot of people come to me with questions, and a lot of times I'll just be like, yeah, you can find that here, and I'll just
Mhm.
send them a link or something. And usually that works, but sometimes people still don't understand, and then I get flustered, and I'm like, oh, okay, I really don't want to have to hold your hand with this.
I'm the one that people will send me way too many texts about one issue, and after like I reply to the first text just with "I'm aware," because I know what's happening on my job site. Like I know what the problems are, so I just text back "I'm aware" because
Feel that.
I don't want to hear shit else about it. I'll handle it. And I have no remorse for saying that shit. I'm like, I hope that you get the fucking message to stop fucking texting me about stupid shit that I already know about.
Yeah.
God.
but
Jeremy,
that-
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Michael.
oh, but nowadays it's just like for me, I just don't care what really anyone else thinks. I just kind of doing my own thing.
And I
It takes
wish-
some work to like get to that point too, though, because
Yeah.
I used to care a lot what people thought, but I'm starting to get more and more. I think as you get older,
As you get older, you just don't
Yeah.
care.
yeah, you're like people are gonna be mad at you. It's for certain things that
Mine,
they shouldn't even be mad at you for. So
I feel like I've done the opposite, right? So like I've gotten better when it comes to strangers. I don't care. Like, who gives a shit? I don't know these people.
yeah,
But when it comes to anyone basically anyone I've introduced myself to, I think about every single aspect of what they might think about me, and it freaking makes my life very complicated.
yeah, no, it's. I think my moment for that was senior year of high school because my motherfucking best friend left me,
Get fucked.
and I was like, "Fuck
What do you
this!"
mean? I'm right here, Brandon.
You weren't there for me then.
I was thinking about you.
No, but it was one of those deals where like my best friend left, my other friends started being fucking dickheads. So I was like, fuck this. I've got bigger and better things to do after this. I don't give a shit what these people think about me anymore. And so I just stopped caring, and that has 100% carried through with the rest of my life. It's like people are going to know, like they know me. If they know me, they know I'm an asshole. They know I say what's on my mind. They know I know how to get things done. That's what they need to know about me. And so, as long as that's what they know about me, I'm good.
Also,
When
he
you-
sucked a lot of dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you guys graduated
That's
high
if you
school, did you guys
really
feel
know
like,
me.
like the day of graduation, did you guys feel like just a lot of stress just like come off your body? Just
Oh
It's
fuck
for me,
yeah!
it was
Absolutely
like-
Oh
not.
dude,
I was like, it's
Yes.
over, you know?
yeah, I hated high school. God, it was like it felt like so much pointless work and effort for me
Yeah.
because like I never studied for any tests. I never really took anything seriously, and I was in AP classes in senior year and like just cruising.
Same.
Like,
I
that shit was
just cruised.
It
So
was
it
just
didn't.
a pain in the ass though to have to like do all the assignments and the fucking like homework. Like I don't care about doing work at school, but as soon as you give me homework, I'm like, fuck this, dude. Like I
Especially
want
if
to
you're
go
doing
home and like,
sports.
yeah, dude, I want to go home and decompress. I got shit to worry about that isn't this and shit that I actually care about. And like most of the shit they give you in school is just fucking not even applicable in actual real life.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I remember about my graduation is that I was last name very late in the alphabet, so I start at the end of the line, right? So I have to wait for everyone else. Like the way our school did it is, it was a pretty small school. There were only 80 in my graduating class.
Oh my goodness.
You
I
said
was about
that's
to
a
say,
small
y'all's are
school.
like 20, but
Mine was like 600.
yeah, I was about to
something.
say.
I
But
graduated with 48.
Dude, yeah, I graduated, so I went to school all through like junior year, all the way up until junior year in the same school as Brandon, and then the summer after junior year, I transferred to Midland. So Coloma had a graduating class of 48, right?
Yep.
Midland had a graduating class of like fucking 400 or 500.
Yeah.
You talk about culture shock,
yeah,
dude.
huge
Oh,
difference.
man,
But
that
like,
shit fucked me up.
so I was like towards the end
I
of
went to
my
mixed graduation.
graduation, and they had us all walk down the stairs of our stadium, and they have all the teachers lined up. So you walk down in between all the teachers, and you're supposed to be like, giving hugs and, oh, I'm gonna miss you, blah blah blah. Everyone's crying, but you know me, I hate social interactions. So I basically just walk straight faced through the teachers, except that my mom was one of my teachers, and then my second mom basically was also one of my teachers. Someone that I like went over to their house all the time. They went on vacations with us, super close with. So straight faced Jeremy walking down between all these dudes, and then got to my mom. Oh, mom, I'm so sad. Straight faced. Got to my second mom. Oh, this is everything's so sad. And then all the way to the end. But the only like important thing I remember about my graduation is the fact that my pants were falling down because I was surrounded by 4 or 5 different girls in my class, and none of them had pockets. But guess who did have pockets? Me. So they gave me their phones and their keys and their wallets, and I had them all stuffed in my pants to carry down through the stadium with me. And that was the most
Wow.
important thing I remember about my graduation.
See, dude, being a skinny fuck like me, I always had to wear a belt, so I was always, dude, pants never fell off.
Always
prepared.
strapped.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Ooh.
always strapped.
I mean, kind of old man talk, but I love belts, alright, let me tell you.
Oh, same. Dude, a good, like, actual leather belt. I've had the same
It's a
leather
game
belt
changer.
since high school. I'm wearing it right now.
Nice.
And it still fucking does the job just good. Like,
Yeah.
just
Mine broke.
perfectly. Oh,
Broke. Buy a new one.
Yeah.
I
They're not
I
that
go
expensive.
through a lot of belts because I work in construction and I clip my drill to it or I clip a tape measure to it. So I go through probably at least a belt a year. And I don't buy like shitty cheap belts. Like I buy good leather belts.
Yeah.
But I just use them so much that I just wear through them.
I think mine broke like 10 or 15 minutes before work. So I had to go
Oh.
to Walmart and I had to grab a belt and they didn't have my size. So I had to like
Punch a
poke
hole in it.
hole in
Yeah.
it.
yeah, with like a screwdriver or
I
something.
See-
still made it to work on time.
The sad
Oh,
part
yeah.
about that, Michael, is that I've had the same problem, but on the opposite end of the belt. You've
They're
had
not
it
big
because
enough.
you're too skinny, so they don't have one small enough. I've had it because I'm too fat, and they don't have one big enough.
God damn it.
Yep. It's a
Jeremy,
sad
didn't
time.
you wanna? Wasn't there like some questions or topics you wanted to
Yeah.
talk about specifically
Yeah.
for Michael?
I mean, I
Do you
definitely
want to jump on
did.
those?
Yeah, I do because I'm very interested. Brandon is basically excluded from this conversation because he's dead to me. But I want to get your guys' opinions on like dating apps and then just like dating in general in this day and age. So like to start it off, how do y'all think dating apps are good? Like, do they provide a good experience for people, or are they just kind of all around everyone just accepts that they're trash?
I mean, I think they work for
Ah.
some people.
I mean, I
That's
feel
fair.
like it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because or a gamble, really. Because like you can always go on there and find someone who's like super chill and actually cool to talk to, but I feel like the vast majority of the times, or at least the times that I've tried it, which have been very slim. Let me tell you, I don't use dating apps. But the one time I tried Tinder, I matched with like a few people, and every time I matched with them, it was always like a short conversation that was just confusing as fuck and never went anywhere, and it was just a waste of my time.
Well, also like the thing is that these girls get, I don't care what girl it is, these girls get so many matches. It's
Oh,
insane.
yeah.
They go through so
Well-
many conversations that they're like they don't have any heart into the conversation. It's just like, hey, how you doing? And then like it doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, they're like asking
Well-
you to entertain them.
Yeah.
Well, I got trolled like 3 times in a row, and then I was like, okay, I'm over this.
Like,
and I
maybe
installed it.
Well,
Yeah, I was like,
so
I'm
like I feel like part of that problem, and Michael, I know you do this, so don't deny it, is a
Oh,
lot of dudes swipe right on every single person. Like they swipe that they like that person for every profile. They don't even look at it. They just do. And so then like it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Like the girls don't respond because every single dude is like them. The dudes know nothing about them. They just like their profiles. So why put the effort in if they haven't even put the effort in to look through the minimal information you've given them?
if you have unlimited likes, why not?
I mean,
So-
you're fair. That's, that's fair.
Jeremy said I'm dead to him, but I do actually have. I mean, it's been fucking years ago now, but I do
Yeah.
have experience.
Freaking old man.
Because-
Brandon.
Right? Because I did date one girl off of Tinder, and I mean, we dated for what was it, Jeremy? 6-8 months. You fucking hated her.
Oh, I
'cause
hated her
Did
guts.
did I meet her?
No.
You might
I think
have.
you came down
I think I
while
met
they
her,
were
like,
dating,
once.
but I don't think you ever met her.
I could have swore I met her.
She-
She was like
we
super
m- she
fucking
may have-
annoying.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
was.
Yeah.
That's why it
She
ended.
was
But
very annoying.
Yeah, she was super
she
annoying.
she would go in Jeremy's room and sit way too close to him on his bed while he was playing games
God,
and just
yep,
try
I
to
met
talk
her.
to him.
God,
I
it-
Yeah.
met her like once, dude. She was super
I
fucking
think
annoying.
she went to dinner with us one night you were
No,
there.
she came over one time, and I think we were playing video games or something, or just hanging out. I
Probably.
God, I hated her.
But I feel like the main apps that are kind of like useful when it comes to dating apps is like Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge. Like a lot of the other dating apps, it's just 50-year-olds making catfish profiles, and like you don't know who you're actually talking to.
yeah. Well, like
50-year-old
even
like men just hitting up grown ass other dudes.
But isn't
Yeah,
that true
fuck.
about any dating app though?
yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have that, but like the more popular ones are definitely gonna catch more of that. I feel like.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah.
so like every couple of months, about like it's pretty common. I'll get the urge, like, you know what? I kind of want to try to date someone, and I'll download all the apps again. I'll activate all my profiles again. Blah blah blah. But then I get on them and I'm swiping through, and I match with a couple of people, and I send them messages, and nothing ever comes of any of it, and it just kind of tie it back into me constantly thinking about everything. It just is a huge hit for my self-esteem. Like I feel like I have a huge detriment when it comes to dating apps, because the majority of dating apps are, you see the picture and you make a snap decision on if you like them or not based on the picture. That's like that's all you do. And
Yeah.
I'm not an attractive person. At least I don't think I'm an attractive person.
I'd fuck you.
I would too. I have multiple times.
Same.
But like, so it I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, it's so easy to date now because you have access to all of these apps that you just find thousands of people to talk to all the time. But it's made it so shallow that
Well, I'll say, I don't think that it's easy to date now. I think it's easy to find someone to put your wiener in.
Yeah.
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 Nowadays, it's like I sometimes wish that it was, how it was back then, where, we wrote letters to each other and all that stuff. Everyone was like more loyal back then, But nowadays, it's just we've gotten so caught up in like our phones and everything that not many people know how to like go up to someone and introduce themselves.
Well, also, it's such a weird culture we have now because, like, it's always been kind of the guy initiates,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
a lot of the times when the guy initiates, he's either a creep, a fucking, just gets completely turned down, or it works out. It's always a gamble, right? But it's 90% of the time, it's the dude who has to like do the initiating of the
Yeah.
conversation, and
Well,
that's always such a weird thing to me.
so even on Bumble, which Bumble's whole thing is it Bumble? I think it's Bumble.
Yeah.
Is
Bumble.
that the women have to respond first. Men cannot initiate a conversation, the women have to. And even on that app, the only responses I ever got from women were hi, hey, like what's up, like small conversation starters that I've been told by women that if a dude sent them that, they would immediately not respond because it's so little effort, right?
Well, I mean, it's also because girls have been hit with every pickup line in the fucking book and
Yeah.
then never have to actually do it.
Yeah.
So women are fucking terrible about like actually introducing themselves or doing pickup lines. They fucking
think-
suck at it.
I think we should stop calling them pickup lines.
What should we call them?
What's your alternative?
Dick up lines.
If
Because
they
that's
come
all
from a
those.
girl, they're supposed to be like dick up lines because they're trying to,
No, then
Alright,
it's lick up
Yeah, they're
lines.
trying to dick up.
All of the girls that in their profiles and they have in their bio not looking for hookups, they're definitely lying.
100%.
Definitely lying.
Yeah. Probably. So that kind of brings up an interesting point. Again, I guess Nick and Brandon don't have much input on it, but Michael, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. What are some immediate turnoffs when it comes to dating profiles?
Input on that? What do you mean?
You
Dating-
just
when it
said
comes
you
to
don't
the-
use dating apps.
He said he uses them sparsely.
Yeah, sparsely here. and there.
Anyways, Michael,
But
you're
go ahead, Michael.
When it comes to I think mainly like face pictures, like not showing your like what you look like, just
Yeah.
like face or like a lot of like pictures with filters. I
Or
feel
group
like-
pictures.
Yeah, like a lot of group pictures. I don't know. I feel like girls with group pictures, they're just trying to like show off that they, I guess, go out a lot.
Or they
Right.
have hot friends and they want
Yeah.
you to think that it's one of the hot friends, not them.
So that is like a really interesting game to play when you get a new profile. You looking through all the pictures and they're all group pictures. So you have to go through and see who's in every single picture to find out which one
Yeah.
is the girl is actually you're talking to. That shit's hilarious to me. But like, because one of the like major turnoffs for me, and this is probably extremely shallow, is any girl that has a picture of her with a child. Because, God, I do not want children.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, like at that point, I don't want to ask, is that yours? Like,
Yeah, because then you
is
sound
that
like a
thing
dick,
yours?
right? You're like, is that your kid?
And
Because
then,
I
you can, like-
don't want
You
kids.
can like not even be their kid too, and you're just like, nope.
Yeah.
That's me
I
at
feel like-
least.
I feel like girls can nowadays post almost anything on like when it comes to those dating apps, but when it comes to guys, it's usually like no fishing pics, no like gym pics, like nothing like that. Because apparently we're most
don't
of the
know.
time, it's just like instantly like singled out. It's just
But I mean, I guess it just kind of depends what kind of person you're trying to reach, right? Which is fair in any situation.
yeah.
Like if you post a lot of pictures of your body and you're like, look at my body, I'm hot, right? Like then it there's like an atmosphere around it that you're searching for people who are only interested in your physical attributes. So I don't know. I feel like it kind of swings both ways.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely got to spice it up, Throw some crazy stuff in there.
God
Dude,
no,
put a
I
picture of your butthole up there as your profile pic.
I only take pictures of me in huge puffy sweaters, like 12 layers of underwear.
I don't like taking pictures of myself.
Yeah, I'm
That's
not
so.
really like a selfie person.
I feel like one of my problems with dating apps is that the only pictures, and I'm not exaggerating, the only pictures I have of myself are pictures that I've taken at family gatherings. So like Thanksgiving, Christmas, my sisters and mom always want to take pictures, and then I make them send them to me. Those are the only pictures I have. And me and my sisters don't really look alike. Like, one of my sisters has red hair, like bright red hair, which my beard's pretty red, but it's different, I guess. And then my other sister is very short and has like dark hair, so we don't look like siblings. So all my pictures all my pictures are me and two random girls that could be my siblings, but you don't know. So it's like,
Jeremy,
yes.
I'll hook you up. We'll pick a time. I'll go have a fucking. I will be your photographer. We'll go do a photo
Taking
shoot.
some selfies.
I'll get you
with
some.
beautiful face.
I will get you some fire Tinder pics.
God, if any of you guys have tips, I don't know. And I think part of it again is just due to the fact that I hate every aspect of myself. I don't know how to take a good picture. Every picture I've ever taken of myself, I'm like, God, I look hideous.
I mean,
Fair
it's
enough.
just-
I didn't know that. Apparently, like everyone's always told me that I'm like very photogenic, and it's like I'd never felt that way when I was in pictures.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, at one point, I almost acted for Disney, so I guess that was like they were like, all right, yeah, you look good.
I mean, what? Hold on.
Go
you
back?
almost acted
Yeah.
for Disney.
It
How'd
was,
that
it
happen?
Back
was,
up a little bit.
it was like I think I was in. It was like late middle school, and it was for this show called Shake It Up with I don't know if y'all
Really?
Bella Thorne and
Yeah.
Zendaya?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Could have been the
And
new
so-
Tom Holland.
Yeah, I got to meet them, and like Mr. Mosby off of was it Sweet
Oh,
Life?
Sweet Life.
Yeah,
hell
yeah.
That's cool as
Like
fuck.
Cody, dude.
And so I met a lot like at Disney Stars while I was doing it, but when it came down to it, there was like a lot of fees that they didn't tell us about. But I
Mhm.
think when I auditioned, it was in front of I think his name was Cody or this guy with the glasses. That was like Sweet Life on Deck or something. What the show's called?
The Sprouse Twins.
No, he had like curly hair and glasses. I forgot his name. But
Yeah, I don't remember.
we
I think I
auditioned
know
in
who
front
you're
of
talking
him,
about.
and he like he was bald, so it was like threw me off. But I think I auditioned out of like there was like 1,000 people that auditioned, and they were only calling back the top 40.
Yeah.
And I was in the top 10, and so I did it for a while. But there was a lot of fees like professional headshots and all this other stuff that we had to get
Mhm.
into, and so it was like around like holidays, and so my parents couldn't afford it, so I ended up not being able to do it. But
Where,
Oh,
so
that's
like,
interesting as fuck.
yeah, where did that like take place? Like, was it in like Dallas or? Here in
no,
Lubbock?
they had audition. Yeah, they had auditions here in Lubbock. It was like at a hotel,
That's cool.
and then they had like training sessions. Like they had Disney stars that would come to here in Lubbock, and they would fly out and like they would just kind of train us.
Yeah.
And then there was going to be like a big show down in Austin with like a bunch of agents, and then they would all like call you back and whatnot if you got it. But yeah,
That's interesting as fuck.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one
Well,
of those.
Jeremy,
Yes, go ahead.
I unfortunately don't have any tips for you
Sad.
because I've been out of the dating pool for,
Sad.
almost 5 years
All
now.
about the
Shame.
angles, dude. Hold the camera higher.
Wait,
No,
well,
like I'm saying, I'm
get that.
telling you,
Wait.
I
No,
will.
no. Pick your head up though. You gotta like.
no,
you
you
gotta
look down.
straight at the
You
camera.
look
Yeah.
down.
Look,
Take
give 'em-
picture of the.
give 'em one of these.
It's they want to
I'm
know
telling
if you're
you,
balding
I
or
will.
not.
I
Hey.
will fucking photograph you.
But
We'll go
even
to
like,
some cool fucking places. I'll take you down and we'll get some pics on my boat,
ooh,
so it makes it look like
looks like
you
I have a boat.
Boats and hoes.
It's all about
Well, so
confidence. So go out on Brandon's boat in a Speedo. and
Ooh.
make
Oh,
sure
yeah.
you pack
I don't
that
know that
bitch.
you can get a Speedo that big is the only problem.
You totally can. Banana hammock.
Part of the problem though is I don't think that I need help taking pictures. I need help someone telling me that the pictures are good enough to post on the apps. Does that make
Oh.
sense?
Yeah, that depends though. The eye, beauty is
Access
all in the
to
eyes of the
female
beholder, though.
opinion, Jeremy.
True, he
Right.
does.
I
She
just
wants you
total
to
sidebar,
get a
Brandon.
girlfriend so she can have
I know.
friends.
Total sidebar. She is
Yeah, but she's in a ginger
leagues
fuckboys.
better than your ex, who was annoying as hell. Lock her down, Brandon. Lock her down.
Well,
All I'm saying.
I already have.
But she has a skewed perspective because she's into ginger fuckboys like Brandon.
I have a ginger
Well,
beard. Does that count? It's very
Same.
red.
Whenever I grow it out, it's ginger too. So
It's very ginger.
you know.
What is it about beards that always kind of turn out just a little ginger, especially
I
like
don't know.
white
My
guys?
brother
dude.
is a dark brunette,
Yeah.
and he had a red beard for the
Well, that's
longest
me.
time.
I'm like dark
Yeah,
brown.
I'm the same. I'm the same hair color as fucking Jeremy, and I have
Yeah.
the same exact facial hair color as Jeremy.
Yeah. It's
It's
crazy.
weird. I don't
Fuck.
understand, and I've never had even close to red hair.
Yeah. Well,
Weird as fuck.
it's weird for me because my grandfather has really red hair and my sister has really red hair and I have a really red beard and then just dark black hair, or not black, but dark brown hair.
It's super weird. I don't understand either.
Yeah, I have red hair, so I have a red ass beard.
Yeah.
You know,
What
kind of
happens?
goes with the turf.
As long as
Yeah.
It'd be
the-
weird if I didn't have a fucking red beard.
Yeah, it really
Sure.
would, honestly.
Yeah, it'd be funny if you had a blonde beard. That would
Well,
fucking, I would
I
shit
mean,
my pants.
Honestly, it wouldn't be that surprising because I have blonde fucking eyelashes and eyebrows. They're
Yeah.
like slightly red tinted, but they are mostly blonde.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
So
Weird.
yeah,
It's always funny to me. People having blonde eyebrows.
yeah.
They're like non-existent
Kind of
almost.
blonde. I
Oh,
need
mine are
to
kind of thick and dark.
sketch them out or whatever they do with the eyeliner.
You pencil them in.
Yeah, pencil
Draw
them
'em on.
in.
Oh,
I used to
God.
date a girl
Eyebrow
who would do that.
tattoos.
Dude, I think my aunt or my grandma has those, and I fucking hate it. Like,
Well,
I
they
think my
fucking
stepmom got her
tattoo 'em
eyeliner
on.
tattooed on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got her
Fucking-
eyeliner tattooed on, and it looks like I don't like it. It doesn't look terrible, but
Yeah.
I can tell. Like since
Yeah.
I've gotten a tattoo, I'm like, yeah, you can tell.
Yeah.
But it's all personal preference, right? I mean, whatever you like,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, makeup is one of those things I hate. Like, I like girls who don't wear like hardly any makeup. Like some
I
is
like
fine.
all natural, yeah.
Yeah. I'm cool with like mascara and like lipstick and like maybe some light foundation, I guess.
Yep.
But once they start painting on their face, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
alright.
I mean, I feel like I can appreciate both. Like I do like most women can pull off the natural look very well. Like, but even some of them, when you would say, oh, they don't have any makeup on, they still have makeup on.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
and
facts.
and
Yeah.
but even like you always see like on TikTok or all that those women that are just painted up, super fine eyelashes, all this stuff. And I can appreciate that as well because you're recognizing
craft.
you're recognizing the effort they put into it. And I'm like, oh, okay, like yeah, you still look good without it, but you look really good with it. So and
Well,
it took you an hour to do it.
The wild thing is, some girls just like having their makeup done.
Yep.
Like they like
Yeah.
being done up.
I get that
because-
kind of, but like why? Right? Like is there something wrong with you without makeup? Or like
No, but with that mindset,
always.
why would
like,
you?
that's weird.
Why
That's
would
a
you ever
weird thing
dress up?
because I dated a girl who would paint on her face. My last girlfriend I dated, and I hated it. I was like, why do you put on so much makeup? Like you don't have to, and it seems like so much effort. Like you really don't have to. And she's like, I just like to. I'm like,
Yep.
But why though? Like my brain doesn't compute that. Like I'm very happy with my face and like my natural body.
But
So I
we're
don't
men,
understand why
so we
people wanna-
were.
I don't understand why people like even
Programmed.
girls want to cover that up though. Like why do you want to just cover
Well,
your face up and
I-
make yourself look like someone else?
I don't think it's covering it up. It's it's
But it is.
defining,
Exactly what it
but
is.
it's sometimes it is. You're right. Sometimes it is.
No, yeah. Whenever she didn't have her makeup on, she looked like a completely different person.
Yeah, but a lot of it is defining the features that you like the most, right? Like a lot of women do like
Well, that's not what I'm talking
cheekbones
about,
and
though.
like some like
You
all
know?
this stuff. I don't know all the terminology. But yeah, like you're saying, some of them do just cake it on, and it's not
Like she
good.
would paint her face on, and I was like, you don't have to do that. And then whenever she took it off, she looked like a completely different person, and I was like, this is weird for me. It seems it always made me feel like they were self-conscious, like they were just not confident in their own face.
So part of that is absolutely true. Like
Right.
it
But like
because
she would never own it,
we're
though. Like,
men.
she would-
Well, of course not. Because that's something that she's self-conscious about. She's not like she does it because she's not comfortable with it, right? So it's like because we're men, we were programmed that's how you fucking look, especially being from West Texas, all of us. That's how you fucking look. If you the makeup's for girls, this
Yeah,
and that. Like
right.
you're stuck with what you
Yeah.
got. It's changing now.
Yeah.
Because it's becoming more mainstream for dudes to get like facelifts and shit like that. But
And there's a lot of dudes wearing
girls-
makeup and shit now.
yeah,
so
but
that's just-
for girls, it's always been you need to look perfect, you need to wear makeup, this and this
Right.
and this.
But like,
So
I was always,
even
like,
if you
telling
tell
her-
them, even if you tell them you look better without makeup, this and that, it doesn't. It's not gonna. It doesn't translate the same into woman as it does to what you're saying.
But the only
Does that make
people-
sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I totally get what you're saying, but the only people who shit on women for not wearing makeup is other women. Like I never see guys being like, "You need to put on some eyeliner. You need to your eyelashes need some mascara. You need some foundation." Like I've never, at least me, because I mean, any girl I date, I'm always like, "You're fine the way you are." Like
Yeah.
I like you. I like you, not what you put on your face.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, and I never understood like the whole idea that you're so like self-conscious about something that you're gonna lie about it. Like, because like I have my own self-conscious shit, but I'm dead ass about it. I'm straightforward. I'm like, yeah, that's like, it is what it is. You know, I
there
can't
are
help.
guys that just like before they even go out in public, they tell their like significant other like, hey, you need to like look good, you
Yeah.
know, before we go to the house. And
That's
it's
so
just not right. Yeah.
That's so shitty.
I mean, it is.
Oh, it
you're
super
right, but
is.
a lot of people do it, and we live in a society, and
Thank you
like
for saying
it's even though it's very cliche to say, there's a stereotype about it, right? Like women are just expected to put that out there, and a lot of them do enjoy it. More power to them. And again, a lot of times I enjoy seeing a woman with like her real nice makeup on. It's very beautiful. But even as a dude, there are times that like one of the reasons that I let my facial hair grow out, let my hair grow out, is because I hate my face. Absolutely despise it. And
Mhm.
anything I can do to cover it up in any way whatsoever, I am golden. So like it's kind of like people always, or my parents always tell me, you should cut your facial hair and your hair. You should cut it back. It looks terrible. And I'm like,
yeah, but
it,
that's parents, though.
well, yeah, but my mind always takes it as, them thinking that I'll look better without it, even though I won't. I'll still be ugly without it. But they think I might be better,
Dude,
so
I love the
it's
facial
like
hair and
a
the long hair.
Thank
That shit
you.
looks dope.
But
That's
it's like if they
have to
think I
remember, though,
might,
like-
then I'm all about it, you know.
I see, but you got to remember, like they're not your generation, right? Like
Yeah.
they think completely, like they think that like
Yeah.
well, the way I am looks good, like clean shaven, short, haircut. I mean, not
Yeah,
this
very
short, but
clean.
yeah,
Man,
like
that-
I just do this because I can't grow. I grow shitty facial hair and I'm balding, so
Just
like
have
I
to
shave
give it
my head and I keep my face shaved.
give it 4 years and you'll get this.
Oh, I'm 24. I think I've lost hope. It's not in my genes.
But man, during my last family reunion, the difference of like cultural, I guess, viewpoints is so drastic in my family. My grandparents are kind of racist, pretty or extremely homophobic, um, like very set in their ways, right? Like you have to do it
Mhm.
the old traditional way, and then you get to me and
Yeah,
my
same.
sisters who. One of my sisters is gay. The other one has been living with her boyfriend for like 4 years, which to them would be, my mom has literally told us, he's not your roommate. All right, when grandma asks, not your roommate. And so, like, there's such a huge difference between the two. And at our last like family Christmas, I have my long hair, and my sister was braiding my hair, right? Like
Mhm.
giving me a full braid and a little like twin mustache twirly thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Nice.
Yeah.
two little
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And my grandpa made a comment like, "Really, a ponytail for a man?" And
Yep.
I was just like, "Dude, it's just hair, man. Like, who gives a shit, you know?"
Yeah.
But there's just a part of me that wishes that it was. I mean, even if it was acceptable, I probably wouldn't do it. But more accepted for men to take better care of themselves, or to
Yeah.
like put in more effort than we do. Because if I feel like if I were to put in effort, then people would be like, "Oh, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? What's changed? Why are you actually making up your hair and wearing nicer clothes and grooming yourself? What's going on?" Like, I just want to be able to do it and no one question me.
See,
Fair
I'm of the
enough.
opposite mindset. Like I don't give a shit. I'll wear a t-shirt and jeans. Like my jeans have a hole in both knees and my shoes are all wore out, but that's like how I like it. Like I don't spend any money on like clothes or looking good because I just don't give a fuck personally.
Yeah.
But that's my own personal thing. I know Brandon likes to be a little lady boy and look all nice and pretty, but
Mhm.
Well,
that's
boom,
it's
right
different
there.
strokes for different folks. It's because Brandon doesn't give a shit. You just gotta
Yeah.
you gotta take notes from Brandon, dude. Just don't
Yeah.
give a
Just
shit.
don't give a shit, and you're good.
God,
No,
I
the
wish.
the one critique I will give you, Jeremy,
Yes.
you got to
Maybe.
work on that mustache game.
It doesn't really grow in any bigger than this, honestly.
You got to work on that
Same.
mustache
Yeah,
game.
mine's about the same as
What about the
Jeremy.
soul
Whenever I grow it
patch?
out.
Well, what if I get
I
closer? It's very
Oh
whiting
yeah.
out. I'm not this pale, I
Yeah.
promise.
I am.
Man,
Pretty
so
pale.
I got that.
Little
I
bit.
got that strong mustache game.
bit of a sidebar. Today at work, I was doing a lot of drywall work, so I'm covered in just white dust. So I look very pale,
Yeah.
like in the middle of work. And one of the guys I work with, who's, I mean, a little darker skinned, but not too dark. He's just like, "Man, I never realized how white you are." I was like, "Dude, I'm only kind of white. Jeez."
I'm only kind of white.
But like,
Since I started working IT, I've gotten pasty.
yeah, I've gotten
I just
far
stay
less
red.
pasty recently.
Yes, Brandon stays freckly and red.
Yeah. Well, so I would love to hear, Michael, hear your opinion on, I guess, just putting in more effort on yourself, because I feel you're a very well dressed man, even though
Thank you.
it's like it's a simplistic but a hard to pull off look, right? Like the look of you're putting in effort, but not not too much effort, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how do you feel like it's affected you in any way? I guess.
I mean, me, I feel like that's just kind of how I've always been. I mean, my first job, I worked at Hollister. So like, I just kind of like always wore these, like type of clothes and whatnot. But it's for me, like recently I've just been going to the gym a lot more, and then like I guess that's just kind of helped like my physique, the way I look. And so that kind of, when it comes to mentality, I just like want to look a little bit nicer. So like when it comes to grooming, I do a little bit more of that. And then I don't really buy too many clothes, but recently I've been trying to get into more of like the fashion sense. So I've just been buying more like, I guess, flannels or t-shirts or jeans.
Yeah, like
But
nicer
that's just
stuff.
kind of how I've always been. And usually, I mean, it's been working well for me. So
Because I feel like I'm kind of the opposite of you, right? Like you say, you've always kind of been just dressing a little nicer, doing all this. Where if I've always been just big baggy t-shirts and jeans. That's my entire wardrobe. That's the only
Same.
wardrobe I've ever owned, right? And some guys can pull it off, and like even though it's just t-shirts, they're like nicer fitting or they have nicer designs on them or whatever. And I feel like if I attempted to get out of that style, people would question it and then be like,
yeah,
"What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Doesn't make any sense
But
why you're doing that."
the answer to the question is I'm trying something new.
Or just because I want
You
to.
don't have to prove anything to anybody else. Find a style that, like, so I do not hardly dress up anymore. I still own a shit ton of nice clothes, but I don't have a whole lot of places right now to go to wear them.
Yeah.
So, but when I did dress up all the time, it wasn't a matter of, oh, I'm doing this to impress other people. It was, I dress like this because I like dressing like this. I like how I look in these clothes. And so once you get to that point that you're comfortable in a look, mind you, I'm talking about a more fashionable look, not, well, I'm comfortable wearing jeans and a t-shirt. Like, I get it. You're doing that to be comfortable. But if you're trying to dress up a little bit more, don't dress up in stuff you're uncomfortable in. You've got to find something that you like, you put it on at the store, like you try it on and you're like, I like how I look in this.
yeah.
That's what you have to go for. You don't go for, like, pull it off the rack. You put it on, you're like, I'm not really comfortable, but people will like it. No. Find something you're comfortable in, because there's fucking 80 fucking million styles out there.
Well, just
Not
to build on what you're
everybody's gonna
saying,
rock off the same style.
like even to build on what you're saying, like even style may not be what you're comfortable in. Like, focusing just purely on what you're comfortably like, the style you're comfortable with isn't even necessarily like something that may work for you. Like for me, I usually don't care what I like style I look like. It's just whatever is the most comfortable to wear. Like as far as, it doesn't wear me out to wear it.
Well,
So
yeah,
like I like
and
this brand of t-shirt, even though it's got like, it's got the alien flipping you off in the pocket, or like it has the weird designs on it that aren't really like me. I don't really like this style, but the shirts are super comfortable. They're long, which I like. And then the jeans I wear have like the flexible material, but it's kind of a compromise of like they don't look, they're not like fitted jeans or anything, but they don't look terrible, but they're
Yeah.
super comfortable. And my shoes are definitely not. They're like dad shoes, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I
and
mean, they're
that's what I
super
was getting
comfortable.
at.
Yeah.
But it's a style.
Yeah.
It's
It
albeit,
may not
like
look
I
the
said,
best, but I'm
yeah,
comfortable in
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're going out to try and impress people, don't try it with some style that you saw some guy on YouTube say, this looks really good, because it may look really good on him, it may look really good on this other dude in the comments that's like, oh, I got this fit and it looks I really like how I look in it. That may not be you.
Yeah.
You need to find something that you're like, wearing this makes me feel good. It may
Wearing this
not
makes me
be
bricked up.
it may not be what's completely in style in season or whatever, but if you like the way you look in it, it's going to make you feel better, which is going to make you come across to people. It's going to make you come across I don't know how to
You're
word that
struggling
sentence.
there.
Well, I don't know how to word the sentence, but it's going to make you come across better.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
back in
just
high
wish I
school.
had the confidence to dress how I dress in GTA.
Oh yeah.
Well, like back in high school, I used to wear skinny jeans like rolled up,
Yeah.
and like just regular t-shirts usually, or like a button up. And I would always roll up my jeans at the bottom, and like they look like capris. and I would wear like long socks or something under them and shit, and I thought it looked cool. But people, dude, since we grew up in tiny ass town, fucking
Mm.
Nowheresville, like western Texas, I got asked if I was gay so many times.
Yeah,
And
just
every
because you were
time I would
putting
just
in minimal effort.
yeah,
Oh,
well, I
and-
just liked the way I looked. I thought it was like kind of a different look. Nobody else really dressed like me, and I was like unique. But then anytime anybody asked me that, I would always respond with maybe.
Nick-
I always got that question, and it was I don't know, like I guess it was something that I never really thought about, but I guess it was how I dressed, and like I guess I like my hair was nicely parted, and I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Dude,
And
dressing
Nick,
nice
you
is just not
know-
what, like
You know how I dressed in high school. It changed senior year.
yeah, but you
But,
were
like-
less like you have less of a feminine build than me. I'm very
Well,
skinny and tall, so you
true,
know. And I
but-
always had like the Bieber hair.
Yeah. But in high school, like up until like end of junior year, start of senior year, it was always a V-neck with a button up on top, unbuttoned with the sleeves rolled up.
Yep.
Because I was comfortable in it. I liked the way I look in it. Senior year, I started wearing fucking full on like dress button up shirts and vests. Some days I would wear a fucking bow tie. Jeremy, you saw me dress like
Nice.
that.
I did.
I dressed like
You're
that
a
in
dweeb.
college.
For a while.
But
Very classy.
It was a
but
clean
I
look.
liked the way I looked in it.
I feel
I
like being
liked the way they
skinnier,
fitted.
It was just I didn't really have a choice. Like I couldn't wear a whole lot of baggy clothes. I had to wear something, you know, it was nice and fitting. So
Dude, yeah. I used to rock the skinny jeans, but they're hella uncomfortable.
yeah.
I can't do it anymore. I
You
just wear
gotta
like
get-
relaxed, like
You
wear
got to
either,
get the right kind of skinny jeans, Nick. Because I still,
No, no.
if
See,
I'm
whenever
like,
you got this, like whenever you got as much dick as I do, and you know, it's just it doesn't work.
sure, no, but I still wear skinny jeans, but I don't wear them skin tight. Like I buy a waist size up and a length size up. So like I
Yeah, but
normally
you're
wear
also
30,
a normal
32s.
sized human being. I'm 6'3". That's like good luck finding my size.
Fair. But like normally I wear 30, 32s. But in skinny jeans I buy 32, 34s.
You see, I wear
because-
36s.
Yeah. But
I didn't know
because
you were that tall.
the the waist size up gives me a little bit more room in the crotch and in the thighs.
Yeah.
And then the inseam size up lets me roll them up, but not like up onto my ankle. Like it's
Not
just
like
rolled up
Capris.
at the bottom.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like the greaser look, but with skinny jeans.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I keep buying them because I like the way they fit. And they're, like I said, they're not skin tight. And I got big legs, but I like the way they
Because it
fit.
Dick.
Dick. But yeah, no, it's just one of those things that you have to find. Like if you want to start dressing up more,
Mhm.
you have to find something that you're comfortable dressing up in, because what you're comfortable dressing up in is not the same as what I'm comfortable dressing up in or what Michael's comfortable dressing up in.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things, it's trial and error, and you've got to
At the
find.
same time, yeah, you gotta get out
It's
of
a
your
lot of
comfort
trial and error.
zone.
Yeah,
To get
and
back
try
into
different
it.
styles to get back into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's fair. But also part of the problem, I feel like now at least, is that now that I have even like past couple of years, I have a job that I have basically a uniform with, right? So like now I don't have a uniform at my new job, like nothing they require me, but I wear the same outfit every single day. Pair of jeans, an undershirt with a belt, and then a gray like over button shirt. And I wear that every single goddamn day. And it's because it's simple, it fits really well, and it's very comfortable, and I wear it to work, and I have no other reason to wear anything whatsoever.
There you go.
But
Just wear that.
yeah, that's the thing, is like you're not
There's
dressing
also no
up for the
reason to,
guys
like-
at work.
Well, there's no reason also to like dress to try and impress somebody. Like if you're, looking for a relationship with someone, or like trying to look nice, just being comfortable, in my opinion, is like the most
Just be
like,
you.
key thing. Like just having clothes that are just comfortable. That's my
Yeah.
goal, dude. Like if I could wear
Yeah.
like I want to get more joggers and shit, just because they're so fucking comfortable. And they
Yeah.
look cool.
Yeah.
Like if you can find clothes that look cool and are comfortable, that is the goal.
Yeah. But like
That's
Nick,
my
you
goal,
know
at
me,
least.
you only ever saw me wear sweats in public if I was at some sort of sport event.
Yeah, true.
Otherwise, like at school, I was dressed up. If I
Yeah,
like
I never really liked
it
dressing
for
up for school. School was like
for
felt
me,
like a job.
fair enough.
So I was just
But
like,
for
fuck it, I'm
me,
just gonna wear what I normally do.
yeah, but I made that to where that's what I normally wore.
Yeah, it's just a
So
lot of effort, and I'm lazy.
but once I got to that point, it was not a lot of effort.
Yeah, true.
I
That's
threw
just the norm.
the same shit on. Like I threw a shirt on and I threw a shirt over that. I still wear that. Like I still do that every day, but for different reasons. So my normal every day is a pair of steel toe boots, a pair of bootcut jeans, a company polo, and a denim shirt, a denim long sleeve over the top. That's what I dress in 5 to 6 days out of every 7 days of the week.
Yeah.
Because it's comfortable for work. I mean, I've got to wear the company polo, but the long sleeve, I got used to it to help keep the sun off. But it's comfortable now, and if I don't have it on, I feel fucking awkward.
Yeah. I don't know.
That cracks
It's
me up.
But like when I'm dressing up, like if I'm going out to dinner or going out to do something, yeah, I'll put a pair of skinny jeans on with a pair of dress boots and a nice button-up shirt. If I'm out feeling extra froggy, I'll throw a vest on.
Heck yeah.
But
Couldn't be me.
yeah.
I'll go out in a t-shirt and fucking jeans anywhere, dude.
Same.
I don't give a shit. That's just because I don't care, though. Like I really don't care.
yeah, but also part of that is like going back into like the dating conversation of if you're trying to grow a relationship with somebody, if you just show up everywhere in jeans and a t-shirt, it like subconsciously puts out that message to her of I don't really care how I look.
Yeah, because I don't. That's not a subconscious thing. That's a conscious thing. Like I don't care what I look like.
Well, no, I'm saying to her, like in her mind, that's what it puts out.
That's cool.
Is like see like every date you just show up jeans and a t-shirt. She's like, he doesn't really care about himself.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't really care what he looks like. Versus like if she sees you in daily life, yeah, she'll see you in jeans and t-shirt. But if you're taking her out on a date, if you dress up a little bit, I'm not saying fucking put on a 3-piece suit to go out to dinner. I'm saying put a little more effort into the outfit. It will put a subconscious message there of he's putting in effort for me. Because if
Yeah.
she sees you through daily life, sees you wearing jeans and a t-shirt, but then you show up to pick her up for a date and all of a sudden you're in a button down with your hair fixed and you got nice shoes on, it puts forward that message of, oh, well, he's putting in effort, so I'll put in some more effort.
Like it's just kind of like a shallow kind of perspective on it, right? Like I understand, like I'll throw on like a nice button up or something, like, but I'm still
Mhm.
just gonna wear like, or in a clean pair of jeans, that aren't like my work jeans that have holes and shit in them. I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go showing up somewhere looking like trash, especially if it's for a date. But like, if you set a certain expectation, then that expectation isn't. If you set too high of an expectation and that expectation isn't always met, then I feel like you can cause yourself some trouble.
Well, but I'm
Yeah.
not saying that's an everyday occurrence.
I'm not the best guy to talk to this about, though. I am definitely not the lady killer. I have been single for like 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about being in a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm
But like I said, that's not.
I'm the opposite spectrum from everybody else.
Mm,
And I'm not saying it's
Well.
like a everyday occurrence of anytime you see her, you have to
I
be
get
dressed
what
up.
you're saying. I'm just
Yeah.
saying I'm just throwing it out there. I am the wrong person to
Yeah.
to talk because I have a complete opposite perspective because I don't give a shit.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
happy being single the rest of my life.
yeah, so that's another question I have. I mean, again, Brandon doesn't matter in this question. I'm just kidding, Brandon. I
Of
love
course
you.
not.
Say whatever you want. But I just don't have any desire to be in a relationship most of the time. Like I was saying, every like 7 or 8 months, I go, maybe I should try it, and I get on the dating apps and then quickly go, never mind, I don't want to try this shit. But for the most part, I don't even think about it, right? Like it doesn't even cross my mind that I should be in a relationship with someone. I'm just like, no, I'm fine, just kind of chilling, playing my own thing. And it just kind of brings up like the whole argument of, do you have to, or I feel like society in general just kind of it it equates being in a relationship with happiness in life, right? Like a lot
Yeah.
of the older generations say, unless you're um if you're not married, if you don't have kids on the way, then your life is pointless and it means nothing. And I'm like, but why can't I just be happy, be alive,
See,
Not
do
having
my
all
own
those
fucking
steps
I
and
thing?
think-
single is pretty great.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. Like, I have no desire to be in a relationship ever because,
Yeah.
like, people always say, "Oh, well, I don't want to die alone." I don't give a fuck, dude. I will
Right?
die alone every day, like all day. Don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm dead. I don't. It's
Right.
not like I can take that
Gives a
person
shit.
with me.
Yeah.
And I mean, depending on what you believe, of course.
Yeah,
but,
if,
like
to
me
each their
personally,
own.
I'm like,
But I
Once
feel
I'm
like
dead,
that
I'm
if
dead.
it happens, it happens. I'm not like
yeah, that's me. Like,
against it, but then again, I'm not like openly searching for it, which is what I used to do when I was like a little bit younger, and
Yeah.
that was my mindset about it. But now I'm just like, whatever happens, happens.
Well,
Like
'cause
if I happen to go to like a cool party with some friends and there's like some girl there or like a group of girls or something, I happen to have
Yeah.
like a cool conversation with one of them and it cruises off to something more, all for it. Whatever. That sounds cool. But I'm not out here like going out to bars and clubs and shit seeking out bitches, dude. Like
yeah.
that's just too much work, too much money. Like I wanna go get a motorcycle and like cruise the United States and like go explore and shit. I
Yeah.
ain't trying to look for
Then you
Yeah,
got a
that's-
motorcycle and you'll be a babe magnet.
These college kids that
No,
go
dude.
out like every weekend, I don't know how they do it.
Mom and
just-
daddy
I don't.
money.
I have no idea, dude. That's expensive, and like you're hungover, like every
Every day,
weekend, if
yeah.
not every day. Like
I'm not in school and I don't want to do it.
same, dude. Yeah, like I just have a full time job. Like that's enough for
Yeah.
me, dude. Fuck. Like the weekends kill me if I go out and fucking get hammered. you
Yeah,
know?
honestly. Like I don't know. I think it's just weird that whole mindset exists, especially cuz one of the reasons I stayed in a very bad relationship, a relationship that was not healthy for either of us, right? We were
Oh, it was
both the
terrible.
problem in it. It was bad.
I
But
mean,
I
there's-
kept going back to it.
Maybe.
I don't think you ever met her. I don't know.
No,
Anyways.
I think he did.
Did he?
Did I?
I think
Because
so.
I think I met you during one of the like 5 periods that we had broken up during.
I think so.
So it was a bad relationship, and it wasn't all
Yeah.
her fault, and it wasn't all my fault. We were just terrible for each other. It didn't mesh well. But it's like the reason I kept going back into it is because I was like, oh, I have to be in this, right? Like everyone's telling me I won't be happy if I'm not in this. But during the whole thing, I was like, I'm miserable. I hate my life right now. I don't want to be in here. I was like, but
That's
my grandpa said.
that's like a societal standard, though, right? Like you're supposed
Well,
to go through school, go to college,
a-
find your sweetheart in either high school or college, and then marry or have kids and have a family.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Well, it's a
that's just kind of like-
physiological norm. Is
Yeah, that
the
too.
human brain says find mate, have baby.
not
Yeah.
my brain.
And when
My
you were
brain
like,
doesn't say that at all.
yeah, when you were like, I guess you said you were like, you guys were off and on, you
Mhm.
know? And I feel like you got to draw a line between, all right, do I really like this girl, or is like that the reason I keep on coming back, or is it because like I want attention?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I feel like I get caught in that a lot as well.
Yeah, because I mean, a part of it definitely was like just me being like, oh, I I need someone near me
Yeah.
to actually care, right? Even though she didn't care, but I just having someone there that I had the like facade of thinking that yeah, no, she cares about everything that's going on in my life. It just was something about it that like put a band-aid over everything, even though it was a god awful relationship. I don't know. It's just relationships in general are just weird and hard, and they should not be normalized.
Yeah, definitely a lot of stuff going on, and when it comes to usually older people in the family, it's the question I get asked a lot is like, you don't have any kids yet? Like, what's going on? I'm like, I'm good right now.
And I don't
So
know, Brandon, you can speak to this. I don't know how people can afford to have kids, man. I could barely afford to feed myself. What's that? like, what the fuck?
I so it's
It's a lot of giving up stuff for yourself for providing for the
yeah,
child.
a lot of bank
yeah.
loans.
No, not really. Well, not for me. I've got a good job, so it
Yeah.
provides. But it's one of those things that everybody tells you, "Oh, it changes your life." Like, and you never believe it until it actually happens.
Yeah, it changes your life because you don't have a choice.
Well, but even if you chose it,
Oh yeah. I'm just
like
saying, like,
you do have a
just because of
choice.
the monetary like decision. I mean, you do, but there's a
Yeah,
right and a wrong choice in that. Like the kid is obviously like, that you made a conscious choice to have that
yeah,
child. Then
yeah.
I mean,
But
but
it's
monetarily, it's like one of those things you have to provide for your child because if you don't, you're kind of a turd.
well, yeah. But it's not even. I'm not even talking about that part of it.
No,
Like,
yeah, I know.
it's one of those things. They're like, oh, it changes your life. You'll never think the same. And like, you always like. I always thought it's like, no, I'm gonna be the same person. And it's like, absolutely fucking not.
I mean, you're
Like
still a
as soon
dickhead.
as, well, yeah. But as soon as I held him for the first time, everything changed. My entire mindset, like the way I think about stuff I'm gonna do, it all changed. But so it went from, well, I'm doing all this stuff for myself to I'm doing all of the stuff I'm doing for him.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, there's shitty days at my job that I want to quit, but I don't because I know what this job can provide.
Yeah.
And so it does change a lot, and it is expensive, but in the end, I love the kid. He's worth it.
Oh yeah.
I
Gotta get
wouldn't
them two
change
pounds.
anything.
Yeah.
Imagine if you treated yourself like you kept a picture in your wallet of little baby you, and you treated
Baby-
yourself
God,
like your own child.
I was a fat potato as a child. Like I'm a fat piece of shit now, but I look like a little fucking ball of garbage when I was a baby. So,
So I do wonder what y'all thought when I told y'all I was having a kid.
I was like, oh damn, really? What the fuck?
Well, so to
'Cause,
kind
I live
of
over here in Dallas. I have no idea what the fuck's going on over
to
there.
kind of
Yeah.
wrap it all the way back around to how I think about like every pick apart every interaction I have. I specifically remember you telling me we were sitting in my room. I was packing up stuff because I was moving out of the apartment that we used to live in together, and you told me, and my response was, "Damn, that sucks." and I thinking back on it, I go, "Man, I shouldn't have said that. That was kind of fucked up that I said that, right?" Like I was just like, yeah, fuck you and your problems. But then I'm
That's just your perspective, though. I mean, there's
yeah,
nothing
but
wrong with that.
but then like right after that, I was like, oh man, well, if you ever need to like come chill without a screaming baby or cough, that whore cough. I'm just kidding. Please don't tell her I said that. She's great. All right, she's great. Um, I was like, yeah, just come hang out, come over, hang out with me. It'd be great. And I don't know, man. It was just I guess like my initial reaction, which is pretty selfish, was like, glad it's not me.
I mean, for
Yeah.
me
Sorry,
personally,
bro.
I was like, damn, that's a little soon. But I think every child is a blessing. It just depends on who has it. And I think Brandon, I know Brandon well enough to know he's a good person. I was like, yeah, he'll do fine.
I mean, that was also part
There-
of it. Is like as soon as
Yeah.
it like happened, I like
It just was shocking. I was like,
well,
Brandon, of
it
all
like
people?
it like shifted
Yeah.
the paradigm, right? Like I went from when you told me you were moving out, I was like, oh, okay, he hates me. It's fair. It happens. And then you told me that, and it all started like clicking into place, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, he's making money moves for his kid, and I was like, okay,
Ooh.
makes sense. I respect it.
I feel like you have to though. Like not
Yeah.
and it's not to say that you shouldn't, because you definitely like should try and like either get some type of raise or like, but it does change your mindset about things, and so you want to work your ass off even more, to make sure that all this stuff is all right for the kid.
Oh yeah,
I think
and that's 100% my thought process is like it's gonna suck real bad for a while, but then it'll get really good, and then
Well-
I'll be able to afford stuff that I was never afforded in my childhood.
I think it's kind of that level of like stress, right, and like responsibility. Because whenever you're single, you don't really have that drive, that driving force. But as soon as you have a child, you have something that's like, oh shit, I have to do this to take care of this. So you have more of a motivation.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like whenever you were in college and single, you were like, man, fuck this shit. Because all I have to do is make enough money to take care of myself. So who cares?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then you had the kid, and you're like, "Fuck, I have to make more money." And so you start finding it. You figure it out.
Yeah.
You have that motivation.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a part of it that I'm like, I respect people that have kids because
Yeah.
I know that I don't have the mental capacity or the
Oh, it would stress me
so,
the
yeah,
fuck out.
like
dude.
I know
Oh,
I
jeez.
couldn't do it. I just
Yeah,
would absolutely. I can barely keep myself together most days, so
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know how I could maintain another entire human being's personality. So I extremely respect people that do it. Especially like even like my parents. I don't know how they put up with me as a kid. I was a piece of shit as a kid. Like we just discussed. I was awful in high school. But my parents still love me and support me all the time, and I'm like, you probably shouldn't do that. I don't deserve that.
I should have been bullied more. In
Yeah,
high school.
I got probably honestly, yeah. Man, these people should have picked some harder targets to pick on because I am way too confident in what little I have.
I don't know if you guys had anything else to like bring up on that topic, but I did have another topic that I wanted to bring up.
Let's
Shoot.
go.
go for it.
So right now they're trying to pass a bill to
I saw that. I
get
know what you're talking
daylight savings time, just like end it
I-
completely. So
I think they actually passed it.
No, it went
Did
through the
they?
Senate. It's going through the
Okay.
House.
Still has to
Oh,
get
is it going through the House?
signatures.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going through the House
Stop
now.
daylight saving times.
No,
I
it's a leave the
leave it as
time
it is,
zone-
right?
Yeah, as it is right now.
Yeah.
So it
So
won't switch and then
yeah,
switch back.
yeah,
it'll
we'll
end next spring. Yeah.
yeah.
hmm
So we'll have one more round of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I never really understood why we did that in the first
For
place.
farmers.
For farmers,
Arizona
yeah.
doesn't
Well,
do
so
it.
I always hear that. Like, I always hear it's for farmers, which I guess, that kind of makes sense. But then I also hear it's just to align the work day with daylight time. Which is
and
the
that's
same
a lot
thing,
of what
right?
It is.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like for the winter time because Noah, who works outside a lot as a belt tech, he has to go outside and work on jobs like Brandon. And whenever it's not daylight savings time, the sun's up earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you wake up, like so, right now, whenever you wake up at 6:30, the sun's not out. But once it's not daylight savings time, the sun comes out sooner.
Yeah.
Like at 6:30, the sun is starting to come out. Like it's on the it's dusk dawn, whatever. The
Yep.
sun is starting to crest the horizon, so it gets warmer sooner. So he was saying that that'll fucking suck because then it's going to be like this all the time, and in the wintertime it's going to be freezing,
Yeah.
like for the first like couple hours of the day. And I was like, yeah, but for literally everybody else, I mean, and plus, I mean, your work could just shift your schedule.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I especially now in the day of advanced technology,
I hate
we
you.
have ACs and all sorts of weather control devices in every place you'll ever be in. Even like today, I was working in a building that has no power whatsoever, but it was 30 degrees in the morning and 70 degrees when I left, and it was the same temperature in that building throughout the day just because of the insulation they had. And so I feel like it used to matter, right? Like before we had all this stuff that you should work when it was light so that you were at, average temperatures throughout the day. But now, even in bare bone conditions, you still have pretty decent and common like temperatures and weather.
But Jeremy,
Yes.
where do they not have insulation?
Outside.
Outside.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what
yeah,
I'm saying.
but just put on
Daylight
some
savings
clothes.
time was always like it originated for farmers, yes. So that they wouldn't be like their working time was usable time.
Yeah.
And then it stayed around for factory workers for kind of the same reason, is so that you would get up when the sun comes up and then you would go to bed when the sun goes down. And you're at about the same times. But and so from my position, it's going to fucking suck because if we stay on this time frame, I'm going to go during the winter, I'm going to go into work when it's dark as fuck, and it's going to be 3 hours before it gets light enough for anybody to do anything outside.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it, Michael? Because I know you brought it up. I want to.
I mean, I don't really care too much. I mean, me personally, I don't know a lot of other people's perspective. I do know like two of the, I guess, conversations that I heard going on is that scientists are saying that it wasn't a good idea because since it's lighter, it's sunnier like later on in the day, that it would mess up a lot of people's sleep because since they're used to it getting darker sooner, your body starts to produce melatonin, a little bit earlier, so getting ready for, sleep or whatever. And then some were saying like they don't want their kids like out in the dark, waiting on, I guess, like a school bus or something like that. So
I mean, they could.
Two of the things.
Couldn't they just make an adjustment to where it's the other way around? Right?
What do you
like
mean?
to where it's to where it's not this time frame, but the one where we switch. So it gets brighter sooner and then gets darker earlier. I mean, because that makes more sense.
But I think that's one of the debates they need to come up with. And I for right now, all I know is that we're gonna have one more this fall where we go back, and then next spring we'll spring forward one last time, and then they want to like end it there.
Yeah.
So if we maintain this, like the spring forward time, like our area of Texas, the sun wouldn't come up until 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I go into work at 6:50. No, during the winter. During the winter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So during the winter, it would be anywhere from 8:30 to 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I go to work at 6:50 every morning.
Yep.
So there's 2.5 to 3 hours where it's going to be too dark for anybody to do anything outside.
Well, but then why not just shift your day later?
Right, like your schedule.
Yeah.
Because at what point do you do that? Do you do it on the day that normally?
No, just like your
normally
so,
daylight savings time kicks in.
Well, what I'm saying is, so once they normalize the times, is that then you would think that all the employers would normalize their schedules to fit with the daytime, right? So instead of going in at 7 you would go in at 9 and work till
So-
7 at night, but then you have until, since you don't have to go in till 9 in the morning, you can stay up till noon or midnight or
So-
1.
So couldn't this argument be made a little bit easier of just keep daylight savings time because it's already a system in place that does that for employers?
Well, I think a better solution is use the other time frame. So whenever we go back an hour, use that.
Okay, so we go back an hour, and now during the summertime, it's getting bright at 4 a.m. The sun's coming up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of make a good point.
You're-
Oh,
I work in
so
IT, so
what-
I
what
personally
is-
don't give a
what
shit.
is
You
the-
outside
what is the
workers can
point?
get fucked. You chose your profession.
So what is the point of getting rid of it if the employers have to adjust their schedules twice a year?
Well, so
What's the point
so-
in getting rid of it if it just makes sense to keep it?
Well, what I'm
Yes.
saying is that they don't adjust it. Employers pick a median time, right? Like a time in between the both. That like one point a year it's a little bit darker, one point a year it's a little bit brighter, and you just stick with it. You just stick with that time throughout the
Yeah, it's
year,
called-
and
It's called "Don't bitch about it, be a man."
I mean, it's gonna be a little bit dark, and I guess like kind of like Nick is saying that he works inside all the time, so it doesn't affect him. But I do a lot of work outside, but I do a lot of work inside. But since we do electrical work, the majority of the time the lights are off, so even during the day we have no light. So it like. It doesn't really matter either way, right? Like, because with it, I don't care because my phone automatically updates, my computer automatically updates. It makes literally no difference to me. The only time I
Yeah.
remember it is when someone mentions that, hey, daylight savings is happening tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
But without it, I feel like I also wouldn't notice.
Well, yeah, but look at it from my perspective of a supervisory standpoint, where I have to schedule 15 different crews of guys.
Yeah.
I have to schedule brickers, I have to schedule concrete guys, I have to schedule framers. So for 5 months out of the year, I'm going to be at work at 6:50, but none of my guys are going to be able to show up and do anything until 9 o'clock.
Do they not have
So-
headlamps? You can wear.
But it's still not the same as daylight. It
Yeah, but do
doesn't
you not have
matter.
lighting equipment. I mean, technological
you
advancement has
do.
come a long way, Brandon.
But
Lighting
what the
equipment has
fuck-
come a
what-
long way.
What the fuck is the point of that versus just keep the system in place where the time changes? Cool. It aligns better with the sun. So like take a brick crew for example. So either I come in at 6:50, they can't come in till 9, but they're going to still work their 8-9 hour work days, so they're working till 6 or 7 o'clock. I'm still my normal schedule is 6:50 to 6:30. So if I'm still coming in at 6:50, but I've got guys there until 7, 8, 9 o'clock when the sun's still up, does that mean my schedule has to increase? Does
Well,
that
the
mean
way
I now have to work during the winter when the sun's coming up at 9? That I have to be there at 6:50 when nobody else can show up
See, now,
and
I
work
understand your
until
point of
9
view,
o'clock?
Right. I totally understand your perspective, and it is like a whole like issue.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of changing the entire United States time zone, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't it be easier just to have the people who do work outside change their schedule twice a year? Because it wouldn't affect
Why
literally
would
everybody. It would only
why-
affect like only those jobs, those companies that
Mhm.
do work outside. They could just
Mhm.
adjust their schedule instead of everyone else.
why would that be easier than continuing a system that's already in place?
Because it wouldn't. It's like thinking of everyone instead of just like the people who work outside.
Passes over the.
But then
How-
again, it's
how-
also
but-
then you
but
also
y'all-
get to the
but
argument
y'all-
of it. Then you're thinking about it only the people who work inside. and the
But
people who work outside
y'all
do
have
work
said, y'all have literally argued against that point of saying, "Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't notice it unless somebody says it." Like Jeremy said that.
Yeah.
No, it does fuck me
So-
up like
I
for like a
doesn't- I
little
don't-
bit, but
I don't notice it
doesn't really.
in the slightest.
So-
Nah, dude, it fucks up my
So,
sleep schedule. So
if you
bad.
don't notice it, if a week of sleep schedule being fucked up is the only repercussion of it, why change it?
That 1 week sucks.
because
Oh my god! This week has been fucking ass. I had 4 Mondays this week.
like I get what you're saying, right? Like it doesn't make sense to change something that's already working, but like I still think if you just pick a median time, like yeah, the first hour or two of the day might not be usable, or well, not it'll be usable, but you just might need some flashlights or something. Like it doesn't seem like that big of a hassle to me, I guess, because like I was saying, most of the time I'm working with flashlights anyways. So like even though it may be a slight hindrance, and you're like, oh man, freaking
It's
flashlights,
only
I
for
hate
like an
this
hour
shit.
and a half.
Yeah, it's only like an hour and a half, and like I get like you were saying you're still coming in at 6:50. Just don't come in that early. Come in like an hour or two later. Instead of coming in that early, since everyone else is coming in later, you also come in later.
They have
Okay, but-
deadlines.
But then I have to. Then the employer has to change the schedule twice a year,
No.
or just maintain the same schedule year round with the time change.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is they just pick a
maintain the
time
schedule, just like,
that's
you know, pick a
kind
time
of
that's, like,
between the two time changes,
Yeah.
and then
Okay.
just stick with that the whole year.
I mean, I'm a gamer with blackout curtains, so I
Yeah.
like the dark. I really don't care.
I don't know. Well, it's kind of related note. There is a bill going through the House right now, I believe, of making 32-hour work weeks a thing.
That would
be
be fucking
titties.
fantastic. That
Right?
would cut. That would cut my work week in half.
So
Yeah.
that's what
Literally
they
in
would-
half.
That'd be like the new 40-hour.
Yeah, so instead of working
Well, would
40
you still
hours a
get
week,
paid the
So
same?
yeah,
Well,
you'd
that's-
have to get more pay.
well, that's the thing, is that it's not changing the pay or anything. The only thing it's changing is that after 32 hours, they have to start paying you overtime. So part of me is like, yeah, that'd be fucking great. You only work 4 8-hour days a week. You know, that'd be awesome. But then they're under no legal requirements to pay you more. So you're still making the same amount, but now they're capping you at 32.
That's
Yeah,
dumb,
so
because
you're
everything else is gonna go up. I mean,
Yeah.
everything right now is going up in price, so
Yeah.
it's like it's just holding all of us back.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that works out for me because I could just work 4 10-hour days because we have unlimited overtime.
See, that'd be nice.
For
But
me
like,
personally.
yeah, but
But
like
So,
right
for everybody
now,
else, I think it's a bad idea.
yeah, because I know
So-
my boss is very adamant at the moment about no overtime, just because the price of materials and all this is going through the roof and just can't afford it. So the idea of cutting back to a 32-hour work week, I'm like, I mean, I would probably just take a pay cut at that point, right?
Well, but here's the thing: is if the government mandates that 32-hour work week, and then you have to start paying overtime. So 90% of employers are going to cap you at 32 hours, no overtime.
Or get
So
laid
you're
off.
getting, so the government just mandated you a 20% pay cut.
Yeah.
20%.
I mean, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true, but
Peasant.
but it like in an ideal world, and it's probably never going to happen, is that they would increase your pay so that you're making about the same but you're working less hours, right? Because
In a perfect world.
in a
yes.
perfect world, yes, because nobody wants to work. No one wants to work, all right? The only reason you work is to get paid so that you can afford stuff. If I could have a 3-day weekend every week and make the same amount of money I make now, I would be over the moon.
Well,
Because
of course.
that would be perfect, right? Having more time off, less time at work.
That's what
Great
I do,
idea. But I just know, man, that no one's gonna
You
do
know,
that. No one's
like-
gonna give you a pay
like
increase.
all of the big retailers, they're still going to pay their air quote full-time employees fucking 12, 13 bucks an hour. But now instead of getting 40
Yeah,
hours a
you're
week, they're
generous.
getting
You're
32
fucking
hours a week.
generous.
Mm.
Well, that's what
$13
they
an
do
hour.
in that's what they do in our area.
I was about to say all of
Yeah.
ours are going to 15.
Yeah, but I'm talking like hardware stores, stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But so
Talking about like clothing stores, like fast food restaurants. That's
Dude,
Well, yeah,
fast
no,
food
they're-
restaurants, most fast food restaurants here in
That's why I
the
said
US are
retail.
at
Good
15.
tips.
They're at 15 now. Like
Crazy.
McDonald's starts you at 15. I think like Burger King, Taco Bell, all of them start you at 15.
Yeah, but they're super strict about overtime and like
Yeah, yeah.
cutting hours and
Yeah,
shit.
that's
Yeah.
part of it. Is
but
that
I guarantee, even if they pay you $15 an hour, they're just going to cut you to 32 hours. They're
Mhm.
not going to start paying you. What is 20% of 15? They're not going to start paying you 18
$2.50?
bucks an hour.
Yeah.
They're going to keep paying you 15 bucks an hour. So you're going to get a government mandated 20% pay cut.
I mean, yeah, that's true, but
Because like I said, get fucked peasants.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
But the thing is that if everyone at the exact same time takes a 20% cut in their pay, then everything has to go down, right? Like if everyone
Yeah.
in the entire country is making less money, things are going to
But-
crash.
That's super not the case. Because
Well, it technically would
because-
work because the consumers wouldn't be buying as much.
okay, but you still have salary positions. I'm a salary position. I
Yeah.
would still work the same number of hours.
Yeah, but you would only
But I'd
be
still
getting
be-
paid 32 hours out of the week.
Yeah,
No.
because that would be
No,
the full
I
time
would-
work week.
Salary is different. Our
mean, well,
mandates
salary
don't apply to salary.
I mean, they
Yeah, but
don't.
salary is paid based on a 40-hour
Yeah,
work week.
so,
And
like-
if it got turned into 32 hours, your pay would get cut too.
If you think that them cutting hourly
Uh,
wages is not going to affect salary, that's just off base because they're 100% going to go, well, if we can pay hourly people less, that means we can
But-
pay non-hourly people less.
But most hourly laws, because 40-hour work weeks are based on hourly laws. They're not based on salary law.
Yeah.
Because most salary positions are required more than 40 hours a week. Like
Yes.
Home Depot managers are salaried positions.
Yeah,
They're
based,
pretty much they're mandated 50 because they have to work 10s. They work 5 10-hour days. And that's in company policy.
Damn,
Their
dude,
company
you're making,
their salary their salary stipulation is 50-hour work weeks.
see, you're making this deal sound sweet for me because I'm technically salary.
Yeah.
I'm salary with unlimited overtime.
well, but
So I still
Okay.
get paid overtime.
the thing is that,
Okay.
yeah, if they're based off 50-hour work weeks now, the second they cut down work weeks, those salaries are also going to go down with them.
But why?
Because
they're-
down the-
Corporations
I
love
said-
money.
This is this bill is based on hourly labor.
Yeah.
It's saying the mandated hourly full-time labor week is 32 hours. It's not saying the mandated salary work week is 32
mean,
hours.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
the
fair.
salary work week is calculated off of a 50-hour work week, right? So if the mandatory hourly
positions.
work week would be 32 hours, that's how they would calculate your salary.
Yeah. Well, let me
I
Salary
don't-
would go down.
let me phrase it to you this way, Brandon. Why would your company continue to pay you the same amount when you are no longer supervising all of your employees for the same amount of time?
Because it's not going to be we have the same amount of employees. They're going to have to pick up more employees to cover.
Exactly. They're going to pick up
It's
more
not-
employees, meaning they'll pick up more salaried employees as well
But why would they?
to manage
Why
all
wouldn't
of the
they-
new hourly people.
But they already have it in position for these salary guys to manage.
Well,
They-
so
they-
then
The
so
salary position is there to
So
cover
then you would have
all
more guys,
open hours.
yeah.
You would have
So
more
now
guys to manage and not get a pay raise.
exactly. So now
You're gonna have
you're
more work to do and no pay raise.
yeah you're managing
that's like-
double the employees, but they're like, oh well, you're salaried. We don't have to change your pay.
Well, theoretically, you'd only be managing 20% more guys.
Yeah,
I
it's
say
still
just-
20% more guys with no
And-
pay raise.
So you're taking a 20% cut because you're,
But you're
doing
not.
but you're doing 20% more work without
Not
a 20% pay
necessarily.
increase.
Not necessarily.
What do you mean? You just said you're managing 20% more people. So that means you're doing 20% more work.
So go off of like a retail management position.
Okay.
You managing 20% more guys really isn't doing anything else.
I mean,
You're in a
depending on the
retail
crew
position.
size,
You're
depending on the
really not doing anything else.
I mean, depending
Like
on the crew
anything
size.
extra. You may
Like-
have to go say, hey, this is where this guy left off. This is
Yeah,
where you need to pick
But that's
up.
also 20% more of a chance for people to fuck something up too.
20%
I say
more
just
people
buy
you have
into
to cover.
Bitcoin. You won't have to worry about
Yeah,
it.
become rich off of cryptocurrency.
Dude, yeah, honestly.
So again, my whole thing is that I don't trust corporations or any companies really. If they are now paying their hourly people less, they will find a way to pay their salary people less. They're like, oh well, all of your coworkers took a 20% cut, so you need to do it for the company, you know.
But if you're in a salary managerial position, they're not your
Brandon,
coworkers.
silence.
They're your subordinates.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, they're still part of the same brand, company.
And it's also kind of odd for me because my job, I mean, I do deliveries, but it's I go off of like how fast I finish. So if I start the day at like 8 a.m. and then I finish my route at like 2 p.m., I get paid till 6 no matter what.
Okay.
So I get like rewarded. So if I and I only work 4 days and then I'm off 3. And
That's sick.
so like I'll get off and then I usually work like a 30-hour week, 32-hour week within those 4 days, and then the rest of, they call it a bonus. It's not really salary, but I get paid till 40. So
Okay, but
So-
then your bonus is going to go down 20%.
No, he's salary.
Or they're going to say, yeah, we'll keep you paying you for the 40. So now you've got a raise. There's two ways it can go, but the more likely option is you're taking a 20% pay cut. So now you're just getting paid for the work you actually do.
Are you saying the same thing to him that me and Jeremy were saying to you? That's what it feels like.
A little bit. Well, but so just to kind of take it off of like the all of that is
Yeah.
honestly, man, I would take a 20% cut if that means I get an entire other day, and then like we were saying, if everyone gets their wages cut back, less supply means less demand, and so then prices have to go down a little bit. So honestly, you're probably not going to notice a difference in your finances,
Yeah, I
right?
think
Like
it
if
would-
you're
I think it
taking a
would work out.
20% less, but everything is
balance
20% less price, you'll be on about the same footing. I'm fine with that if that means I get 3 days off a week. Like,
See, I'm cool with it because like I said, I can just work overtime and make it up, and then I'm actually making more money.
yeah, like,
I'll
and
fucking send it. Dude.
another
I don't
thing
give a
is
shit.
that now you have more time, more free time to do other things. Like if you want to do some side work, you want to set up your own little business. Now you have 3 days out of the week instead of 2 days out of the week to do some
Mhm.
other work. I feel like it outweighs its negatives. Like if the only negative is like, yeah, you might take a bit of a pay cut, but now you have a lot more free time to do whatever you need to.
It'd be huge for mental health.
That too. I know, like, kind of on the
But
mental health thing
also-
is, like, today, man, our boss was at our job site working with us because our site is very behind. And anytime he works with us, he takes us all out to lunch. It just happens. And while I enjoy free food and I get along well with all the guys, man, just an hour during the workday of being able to be by myself and not interact with anybody is just fundamental for me, man. Like I need that time to wind down,
I
and
feel that.
without it, I'm just on edge the entire day.
Do you guys think that like a lot of businesses should I guess with this day and age they should like within the benefits like cover like therapy sessions or like
Well, that's
know,
part of your medical
Health
insurance.
insurance.
Yeah, your medical and health
wouldn't it?
insurance.
Yeah.
It should be part of your health insurance, but most places don't
Yeah.
offer health
You're-
insurance.
Yeah.
Most part-time places, at least, or hourly
Yeah.
places.
Yeah, if you go to a place that actually does have health insurance as a benefit, usually your health insurance will cover that or help cover that, depending on how
Yeah.
good the insurance is. So
Yeah.
it's kind of one of those things, It just depends. Like
I mean, I think it
Where you're at.
it
depends on who you
should.
work for.
I think it should be included in your medical because I think just in general we've put more of a emphasis on mental health in the past couple of years. So I think it should be included. Do most places do it? Probably not, but you could probably convince them into doing it, Like you'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is medical, you should pay for it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say though, I think it's part of health insurance, so it's kind of a hard bargain to
Yeah, a little
drive,
bit. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Well, we've surpassed our time today, but since this is our first double-digit episode, I thought I would allow it.
And it's our first guest episode.
It's our first
Hey,
guest
nice.
episode. So, do you guys have any closing remarks? Anything you
My
want to wrap
remark-
up?
This
Capitalism.
podcast is great.
Doesn't work
Oh yeah.
the way y'all think it does.
Let's be communists.
Wait,
All
what'd
the
you say?
birds are fake.
What'd you say, Brandon?
Birds or drones?
Capitalism doesn't work the way y'all think it's gonna work. Like,
Say
if ever,
capitalism?
yeah, because
Capitalism.
if everybody gets a 20% pay cut, prices aren't gonna go down. All these landlords aren't gonna say, "Oh, you just took a 20% pay cut. Here, let me take
I mean,
20% off your rent."
They won't at first. You're right.
It doesn't work the way y'all think it's gonna work.
Well,
All
yeah.
the mortgages aren't gonna be like, "Oh yeah, we'll take 20% less for your payments."
Well, that's the thing is
We're not gonna
capitalism
drop
is a delay.
Current sale price
And
of
the
your
spark
house.
is stricken back up. Here we go.
I know.
again. 3
Well,
more
like,
hours.
it's just kind of it's. You're right. It won't originally, right? Like we're all going to take a 20% pay cut. Nothing's going to go down. Everyone's going to start failing their rent payments, and then they're going to go, ah, shit. If no one can pay, fuck we do, and then it goes down.
But
Sounds like a great discussion for the next episode.
Yes, it sure does.
Yeah.
Well, with that, Michael, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks,
man. It's great being here.
I appreciate
Hell yeah,
your
dude. I'm
input.
glad Michael was able to join.
Yes. Like we say every time, you guys can listen to us on any platform: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube. If you do listen to us on Apple Podcasts, you mean nothing to us, and we hate you. I have a beef with them, and it's never going to go away. If you do have any topic ideas, you can tweet us at PointlessPods, I believe is our Twitter hashtag, right? Or
Yep.
Twitter at.
capital P,
Yep, at
lowercase,
Pointless Pods.
oddcast,
I don't think the
capital
capitalization matters.
PODS.
Does the
I don't think
capitalization
it
matter?
does.
I don't think it does. But we tweet there every week, at least once a week, about when our podcasts go live. We also are gonna try to do a little more other stuff like tweeting quotes, maybe some memes or something. Who knows? But if you guys are interested, please let us know. Give us any topic ideas you have because we greatly appreciate them. Anytime you guys want to praise us, we will accept
Give us-
all compliments.
Give us that sweet feedback of
Sweet
Brandon's right.
Yeah,
All
no.
the other guys are fucking wrong.
That you'll get blocked immediately because Brandon doesn't know the password to the Twitter accounts.
Bastards.
But with that, thank you guys for joining me. I hope everybody has a wonderful week this week, and we will see y'all next time. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye.